Good evening and welcome into another edition of Region Sports Football. It's game night in the region on the Region Sports Network, streaming worldwide online at facebook.com/regionsports and regionsports.com. I'm Jared Schlensky alongside Greg Braggs at homecoming here on the campus of Lake Central High School. Lake Central comes in red hot, 4-2, winners of their last two games. Meanwhile, the Chesterton Trojans, their visitor, they are coming off a 41-7 win over Portage, and it should be a good one tonight here in Duneland Conference play. Region Sports Network, we've got Lake Central ranked number 10. Chesterton comes in unranked, but still a very good football team at 2-4 that hung with Valparaiso 2 weeks ago for about 3 quarters. And Greg, we look at this game tonight, it might not be the biggest or most notable game across the region, but nonetheless, this is a pretty good rivalry and should be a good football game tonight.
100%. Chesterton is no pushover. As you mentioned, they just routed Portage last week, so they're getting a little momentum. You know, almost beating Valpo too. You know, almost only works in horseshoes and hand grenades, but at the same time, you know, when you're a high school team, you're building that momentum. Sometimes you don't find yourself until halfway through the season. So to write any team off at this point, certainly a team like Chesterton would be a mistake if you're Lake Central. Now, Lake Central on the other side of things at 4-2, they're rolling, just coming off a big win against Michigan City. But this is their homecoming night. You got the student section already riled up. They got, it looks like it's Jersey night is the theme. So I know a lot of these guys are going to be overly amped up to show out for their friends in the stands. So that's going to be the key to me for Lake Central, is to keep their focus and continue to do what's been working for them this season. Chase Kwiatkowski, a sophomore, young quarterback. If I'm Chesterton, I'm trying to dial it up and get as much pressure on him as I possibly can to even the score and even the balance in this game.
You talked to head coach Rick Good before today's broadcast, and we will play that during on the pregame show, but he made it pretty clear that guys are going to have to stay level-headed today, even though it's homecoming. It's a great atmosphere. It's easy to get maybe too fed up in those things, but he made it very clear that they need to keep their focus tonight.
100%. And, you know, on the defensive side of things, you know, he was really talking about having to rely on his DBs tonight, because these guys on Chesterton, as far as their running attack and the way they want to throw the ball, they're really going to try to stretch the field. You know, east and west with the run game, as you mentioned, with their wide receiver, Garrett Lewis, had a couple touchdowns here last week. You know, so that's stuff that Lake Central is going to have to keep an eye on. So it's going to be interesting to see how they can keep that at bay if you're Lake Central.
And not to play spoiler, but that is exactly what Chesterton is looking to do. You look at Lake Central, they're 4-2. I don't think anything would make Chesterton happier than coming on their home field and winning here on homecoming tonight.
100%. It's a beautiful facility, one of the nicer football fields you got in the region. It's a beautiful night. You know, the crowd's already active and into it, engaged. And we're still, you know, over 20 minutes till kickoff. So it's going to be an exciting night and see what both these teams got.
We're going to take our first time out here on the Region Sports Network. When we return, we'll take a listen to that interview that you had, Greg, with head coach Rick Good, and then we'll get into our Castle Subaru keys to the game. You're watching Game Night in the region on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Did you know?
Wow, they'll prepare fresh fish while you wait.
Did you know?
They make over 40,000 donuts from scratch every week?
Did you know?
They offer 23 different deli platters for your party?
Did you know?
They have freshly chopped fajita mix ready to cook.
Did you know?
They have the best fried chicken in the area?
Did you know?
They offer our signature curbside service 14 hours a day.
Strachan Van Til. Now you know.
Hi, I'm Crowell Company's Lantern Man. I'll cover your motorcycle. I'll be with you on the water. I'll be with you on the snow. I'll cover your insurance needs wherever you go. I'll be at Crowell Agency from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Companies, the insurance professionals in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like health care and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.
Attention homeowners, ready to start your next project? Need to pay off your debt? Refinance your home? Unlock the value of your home with a Centier Bank no-fee home equity loan or home equity line of credit. Stop by a local Centier branch today or visit us on the web at centier.com/home equity. Terms and conditions subject to change without notice, subject to credit approval. Centier Bank, NMLS number 408076, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
You're watching Region Sports Network coverage of high school football on the internet at regionsports.com and online at facebook.com/regionsports. Jared Schlinsky alongside Greg Braggs as we get you ready tonight here on homecoming from the campus of Lake Central High School. It's the Lake Central Indians at 4-2 playing host to the 2-4 Chesterton Trojans. Let's take a look at both teams on offense and then we'll get into their defenses. But we begin with the visiting Chesterton Trojans offensively. They've got a unique system. They play two quarterbacks in Sebastian Boswell and Brady McCormick. Boswell, for the most part, will throw the ball at least early on, and McCormick will run. But nonetheless, Rick Good and this Lake Central team is going to have their work cut up for them, preparing for not one quarterback, but two tonight.
Yeah, it's interesting. That makes it a very hard week. These kids have class. They have a lot of things they got to take care of before they even get to game night. And now you've got two quarterbacks to account for. Like you mentioned before, this run game as well. Bryce Toma and Garrett Lewis is a wide receiver, but as you mentioned, 2 rushing touchdowns last week. A guy they're going to try to use in the misdirection, the east-west game, jet sweeps, things of that nature. Those are things that can really throw off a defense, get you going in one way, and then there goes Chesterton the other. That's in my opinion going to be the key to the game, is how the Lake Central Indians defense can set the edge on Chesterton to prevent those kind of big plays on the outside.
And that brings us to the Castle Subaru keys to the game. Tonight's keys sponsored by Castle Subaru. Stop in and get your keys to a new Castle at Castle Subaru, that is. You just gave us the key from the Chesterton offense. Now let's talk about some of the keys for the Chesterton defense. And again, Castle Subaru. Check out the Castle inventory of new and used vehicles at castlesubaru.com. This is a pretty well-balanced attack, but they're relying heavily on their linebacker, Danny Gavea, who leads the team with 72 tackles. And then last week, Zach Gorksell, who had the first of 3 pick-sixes last week. This was a very busy defense that scored 3 touchdowns in that 41-7 win over Portage last week.
Yeah, as we mentioned, some momentum coming in for these guys. 4-3 defense. So, everyone knows what the cover 2 looks like. If you've been watching the Chicago Bears for the last 20 years, that's what they run. And then Chesterton prides themselves in that. And it seems like last week they found their groove, as you mentioned, interception from their DB. 72 tackles already to start this season. I'm excited to watch Danny Gavea tonight.
Yeah, Gavea's a good football player, and Chesterton and Lake Central offensively knows that he's a guy that can change a game instantaneously. The one guy, though, for Lake Central that has had a ton of success, and he's only a junior, is Xavier Williams. He was a starter last year. He's a starter again this season, and it seems like when he runs the ball effectively, Lake Central wins, and that's probably going to be the key tonight for them on offense.
100%. You know, because you want to lean on that as a junior. You have a sophomore at quarterback. As much potential and as much encouragement he's probably shown his coach and Coach Good, you want to lean on that run game, not rely too heavily on the pass. You got to pass a little bit, but Xavier Williams, 6 foot, 220 pounds, 2 touchdowns last week. That's your bread and butter. You don't want to go away from that if you're Coach Good.
Indeed. And again, we talked about the Chesterton offense, the 2-quarterback system. Well, this is going to be a busy night for the defense. Coach Good talked about the 2 defensive backs that are really going to be keys for them at stopping the run on the outside and stopping the pass in defensive backs, Mylan Davis and Max Welty. This might be their biggest challenge coming into this week. Yeah, it's interesting. I don't want to give too much away from what he told us, just out of respect to Coach Good, but it'll be interesting to see the strategy they have up against Chesterton, and as we see it, we'll start to talk about some of those things, but he specifically pointed them out as guys that are going to have to carry the workload for this defense tonight, saying that some of the things Chesterton does, they're not particularly used to. So it'll be interesting to see how they adjust to that. Those are tonight's Castle Subaru keys to the game on Highway 6 in Portage and on the web at castlesubaru.com. Get yourself a Castle Subaru today. We're going to take another time out here from Lake Central High School. It is homecoming. We also have a bunch of the middle schoolers here from the football team, the cheerleading team, the first time they get to come and participate with the high school, as we are 10 minutes or so away from kickoff here from Lake Central. You're watching Game Night on Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Since 2000, Hose Connections in Hammond has been a premier leader in the hydraulics industry. Hose Connections is a one-stop shop offering quality hydraulic and pneumatic products and services. Hose Connections takes pride in not only meeting but exceeding customers' expectations. To learn all about the products and services that Hose Connections offers, visit hoseconnectionsinc.com or call 219-844-6570. Hose Connections in Hammond, proven under pressure. For over 113 years, Burns Funeral Home and Crematory has been assisting families in their time of need. Serving Northwest Indiana, the staff at Burns Funeral Home and Crematory will help guide your family in creating a meaningful ceremony to honor the life and memory of a loved one. Whether it's a simple, elaborate, traditional, or unique service, the caring family at Burns Funeral Home and Crematory will tailor a ceremony to fit your needs. Visit them on the web at burnsfuneral.com or give them a call at 942-1117.
Flip the switch, a light turns on. Press the button, machines and instruments come to life. Touch the screen, communicate with the world. Simple tasks, guaranteed results, every second of every day. That's the power of power. And that's the power brought to you by the Nika contractors and electrical workers of Local 531.
Are you a steel hauler? Come work for Area Transportation. You must have a current valid Class A commercial driver's license and at least 1 year of recent verifiable steel hauling experience and at least 2 years of recent verifiable interstate experience operating a commercial motor vehicle. Call recruiting at 1-855-400-6939. That's 1-855-400-6939.
A
sudden injury or illness can happen anytime. When it does, feel better fast. Urgent care at Pinnacle Hospital. We have a network of highly qualified physicians, and your wait is minutes, not hours. We offer on-site laboratory and radiology services. We accept most insurance, Medicare, and Medicaid, plus the biggest cash pay discount in Northwest Indiana. We're recognized by Press Ganey in the top 3% in the country for customer satisfaction. Feeling better fast. Urgent care at Pinnacle Hospital.
Thank you for taking me home. It's so far.
Don't worry about it, Grandma. This will be fun. 2 chocolate milkshakes, please.
Make it 3.
3?
Did you get his number?
No, Grandma. Grandma!
Excuse me?
Some relationships get better with time. That's why I got a Crosstrek.
97% of Subaru vehicles sold in the last 10 years are still on the road.
I'm so glad you got a Subaru.
I wonder who gave me the idea.
Oh.
Love. It's what makes Subaru, Subaru.
Check out the new Subarus at Castle Subaru in Portage. Ethos Dental Group in Munster, Crown Point, and Cedar Lake offers a full scope of general and cosmetic dentistry with expertise ranging from porcelain veneers to dental implants, crowns, and bridges. At Ethos Dental Group, you're assured that Dr. Mark Stojkovic and his associates, Dr. Emily Hansen and Dr. Brian Doubts, utilize the latest in technology. Check out ethosdentalgroup.com or call 219-595-3432 to schedule an appointment. Ethos Dental Group, Munster, Crown Point, and Cedar Lake. Hanger Insurance Group in Crown Point is passionate about providing a premier service insurance agency featuring customized coverage and meaningful relationships. They understand that you've built a life and they want to help you protect it. From home to life insurance, they offer a wide variety of coverage to fit your needs. From choosing a plan to filing claims, Hanger Insurance Group agents are ready to help. Stop in for a quote at 950 South Court Street in Crown Point or visit them online at hangerinsurancegroup.com. Protect what you love. American Community Bank is a local bank serving the Northwest Indiana area exclusively for over a century. A true community bank that is proud to remain a faithful local institution dedicated to being your financial partner throughout life. With branches in Cherville, Crown Point, Dyer, Hammond, and Munster, American Community Bank is a full-service bank serving clients with personal and business banking needs. Visit acbanker.com to find out more about American Community Bank.
High school football fans, welcome back to Friday night, to pure spirits, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school football.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Friday night. This is Indiana high school football. This is your IHSAA.
The Lake Central Marching Band is on the field. It's homecoming here at Lake Central High, and we should have a great game on hand tonight between the 4-2 Lake Central Indians and the 2-4 Chesterton Trojans. Good evening. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. Jared Schlensky alongside Greg Braggs. Greg, we talked earlier about both teams offensively and defensively, but one thing we did not talk about is the weather. It's chilly, it's windy. You have to think that that's going to have some effect on the passing game tonight.
Yeah, looking at the flag sticks now on the visiting side, it's starting to maybe dull down a little bit. I wouldn't think it's going to be too much of a factor. And if this is cold, then you're not from the Midwest. Come on now. These kids should be amped up. They should have all the heat they need underneath them pads. We're not nearly in November yet, so in my opinion, I think it's a beautiful night. These kids are going to be fired up. I don't see weather being too much of an issue, but that could change as the night goes.
Let's take a look at the weather. It's the Friday night forecast, and it comes your way courtesy of our friends at Economy Electric Heating and Cooling. Tonight's forecast currently in St. John, Indiana, is 56 degrees, slightly windy, and mostly cloudy skies. That is tonight's game forecast, brought to you by Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and cozy in the winter. You couldn't ask for a much better crowd. It's still filing in here at Lake Central High, and I think that gives Lake Central a slight advantage against a Chesterton team that has struggled as of late and is going to have to play in a hostile environment.
Yeah, definitely, and as we mentioned a few times now, it's homecoming night, so they're going to be a little extra gassed up for this one as a fan base. pretty full on the home side of things, and obviously Chesterton, long drive, so not as many fans as maybe the football team would like over there, but at the same time, they got some support, so it's all going to come down to what happens on the football field. I say it's not too cold. It's easy for me to say. This morning when I was laying brick, I was crying about how cold it was, so I can't lie. I got to keep it 100 here.
And we will continue, as I said, talking about that weather just because it could have an impact on today's game along with the home crowd here at Lake Central High. But let's take a look now at the starting lineups for both teams. They haven't done the coin toss, so we'll find out shortly who's receiving and who's going to play defense first. But for the visiting Chesterton Trojans on offense, they line up like this on the line from left to right. It's Isaiah Filer, James Rader, Jorge Ortiz, Nolan Murphy, and Hunter Buza. The quarterbacks, they're going to play two of them, but the starter is the junior Sebastian Boswell. At running back, number 1, Bryce Toma. His receivers, Tyler Peterson, the son of head coach Mark Peterson, and Garrett Lewis. And the two fullbacks, or one fullback, one tight end, Levi Wheeling and Peyton Chlebowski. Those are the starting Chesterton Trojans for the offense. As for Chesterton defensively, that 4-3 base defense you mentioned, they want to play that cover 2. This is what they're going to look like on defense. On the line, Devin Sane and Owen Edlund are the ends. The tackles, Isaiah Fowler and Connor Katsafaros. At linebacker, it's Danny Gavea, who leads the team in tackles, Keegan Wrigley and Ryland Dave Recluse. And the defensive backs, the corners, John Fleming and Ethan Chasko. And the safeties, Zach Corsell and Hayden DeMarco. As for Lake Central, they have just taken the field. A couple of them were holding the American flag as they are surrounded just a little bit to the left of the 50-yard line on their own 40. Their offense looks like this today. The starting offensive line from left to right, Tommy Tinsley, Andy Allegria, Peyton Shad, Adam Trinkle, and John Ross. The quarterback, just a sophomore, Chase Kwiatkowski. The running back, the junior, Xavier Williams. At receiver, Lamar Richardson, James Graham, and Amarian Brooks. And the H-back, Owen Denny. That is the starting offense for Lake Central. As for their defense, Dominic Rose and Tyrone Susnar are the nose tackle and defensive tackle, and the other one on the outside, Savion Edwards. They run a 3-4 defense. The linebacker, Ben Spang, along with Jeff Cronin, Jeff Lucas, and Andres Cedeno. The corners, Mylan Davis and Nick Arcella, and Ryder Fernandez and Max Welty. We're going to go down to the field right now and honor America with the singing of our national anthem. We'll take our final timeout here on the Region Sports Network. When we return, we'll be ready for the coin toss and then kickoff. It's Lake Central playing host to Chesterton next here on Region Sports Network, where you're watching Game Night on Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Did you know?
They decorate over 210,000 cakes a year.
Did you know?
Their butcher will cut your meat your way.
Did you know?
They have trained floral designers in store.
Did you know?
They will make your wedding cake?
Did you know?
They have a variety of deli bakeable entrees.
Did you know?
Their online app has coupons and so much more. Who does that?
Strachan Van Til. Now you know.
Hi, I'm Crowell Company's Lantern Man. I'll cover your motorcycle. I'll be with you on the water. I'll be with you on the snow. I'll cover your insurance needs wherever you go. I'll be at Crowell Agency from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Companies, the insurance professionals in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
The Chesterton Trojans have taken the field, and they just did their team cheer on the Lake Central logo at the 50-yard line, and we should be ready for kickoff following the coin toss. Jared Schlensky alongside Greg Braggs as we get you ready here on homecoming between Chesterton and Lake Central. And, well, Greg, to say the least, I was a little surprised to see what just happened here from Chesterton.
Yeah, a little pre-game commotion here. Chesterton was a little late getting out the locker room, probably getting their last speech in there before they come out to rally the troops. But they keep resetting the clock, so you think, when are they going to do the coin flip? And then all of a sudden, Chesterton comes out on the middle of the field, right on Lake Central's logo, and does a big team celebration. And some of the players on Lake Central's side definitely took exception to it. So I love how this is already starting. Messages being sent on both sides. They shook hands here before the coin flip, so sportsmanship still going on, but I like it. A little bit of an edge to the competitiveness here on homecoming night here at Lake Central High School.
And that's maybe what Chesterton needs. They're 2-4, looking to get fired up for this conference game. And I'm curious to see what happens here with the coin toss. You got two teams that at times have done well on offense, but at times have struggled on defense. Do you want the ball first? Do you defer to the second half? We're going to find out right now as both teams are at midfield.
I always wanted to start the second half, personally. Make a statement on defense. Then you get field position. If you get a quick 3 and out, field position is everything.
Well, you got your wish because Chesterton won the toss. They defer to the second half, and Lake Central is going to receive the ball to begin this ball game. And, well, that could be a statement drive for them if they can come out here and score on their opening series. This is a Lake Central team that wants to run the football with Xavier Williams. They do have a sophomore quarterback in Chase Kwiatkowski. They don't want to have to put it all on him, especially too early in this one.
100%. And for Chesterton to defer that's smart. I mean, you know Lake Central's amped up. It's homecoming night. Now you're celebrating on their logo. Now they're even more amped up. They want to get this game going, so now you kick it to them. Maybe their juices are going a little too much. They haven't settled into the game yet. You can get a quick 3 and out. Now if you're Chesterton, you have an opportunity to get some field position on your side and try to even the balance. You know, it's obviously going to be an upset if Chesterton can take this game, so you try to find every edge you can possibly find. So I like that decision there to defer.
Lamar Richardson and Amarian Brooks back to return for Lake Central. Kicking off for the Chesterton Trojans is the fullback, Levi Wheeling. He is their kickoff specialist. Just tuning in, it's Lake Central in the blue and white, Chesterton in the white with the gold helmets and the maroon pants. Chilly night, but nonetheless a good crowd here from St. John, Indiana at Lake Central High. Wheeling says he's ready to kick off. And, well, when his right leg touches that ball, we will be too. And we are underway. This one hauled in by Brooks inside the 5. He's got a pretty big hole out past the 25 to about the 28. And that is where this Lake Central offense will go to work to begin tonight's game.
A healthy return. Let's see what the sophomore for Lake Central at quarterback, Kwiatkowski, has got here against Chesterton's defense. It's going to be interesting.
What do you expect? Do you expect to see head coach Rick Good put the ball in the hands of his junior Xavier Williams just to take a little bit of the pressure off the sophomore Chase Kwiatkowski?
Yeah, 100%. If I'm Chesterton, I'm going to, send a few extra defenders and make sure we try to bottle up that run to put it in the hands of the quarterback. But, yeah, they would be crazy if they didn't go with their bread and butter here to start the game.
Shotgun, give right back to Williams, who bursts up the middle out to the 35, and a good start here on first down. He'll pick up about 6 and bring them to second and more than manageable. We talked about Xavier Williams, started as a sophomore last year, now in there as a junior, and already getting the ball right off the bat.
Yeah, getting skinny through the hole, had a nice little spin move to make a tackler miss. A healthy 8 yards there, 2nd and 2.
At their own 35, 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers inside the box. Williams again tries to work the right side, and he is close to the marker. That one sniffed out a little bit better by Danny Gavea in this Chesterton defense. And we talked about Gavea, leads the team in tackles. You're going to see him a lot out there today making tackles.
Yeah, 72 tackles on the season already. There's number 73. He only needed, Williams only needed a couple yards to get that first down. If you're Chesterton and they're bouncing it to the outside, you got to make sure you're setting the edge. You can't allow Lake Central to pop it outside. You got to keep everything inside the hashes.
At their own 40, third play of the game for the Lake Central offense, working right to left offensively. Williams, hitting initially in the backfield, makes a couple of people miss and pushes forward past the 45. He didn't just take 1 or 2 guys with him. He took about 3 or 4 before Gavea brought him down.
That was an impressive run by Xavier Williams. Like you said, could have been tackled in the backfield, making guys miss, a few juke moves, then the power at the end of the run to finish the run. Now we're back to 2nd and 2 again, 2nd and 1.5. That was an incredible run there by Xavier Williams.
Yeah,
3 straight runs.
Only a junior, has some good speed, but he is physical. 6 foot, 220 pounds, trying to work the outside, lowers his shoulder, and again turns nothing into something. Doesn't have enough for the first down, but it's going to bring up 3rd and short.
That was a nice job by Chesterton's defense. As I just mentioned, if they're going to try to pop it to the outside, you got to take care of the edge. Right there, they did it. It was 2nd and 2. Now it's 3rd and 2. They didn't really give up too much there. At some point, because they're running RPO, out of the shotgun, at some point, if they're going to crash in on the running back, the quarterback's got to keep that and take it for a first down himself.
It was Owen Edlin setting the edge. This time we get 2 in the backfield. Amarian Brooks on the carry. Weaves through the middle, has a big seam, and out past the Chesterton 40 for a pickup of close to 20 yards. First time we've seen Brooks get the ball, and he has a big gain on 3rd and short.
Yep, there's really starting to break the will of Chesterton here on the first drive. Tried to get it, Chesterton wants to get off the field there on 3rd down, and a big 20-yard gain. It's going to be hold on for dear life as Lake Central is threatening to score.
And that was what Zach Corsell did. He was hanging on for life. If he doesn't make that tackle, there's a chance Brooks is in the end zone. First play now from Chesterton territory. Option to Williams. Stiffs arm one man out towards the Chesterton 35 before being brought down by Devin Sane. And I'll tell you what, they've done a great job on first down of getting at least 5 or 6 yards.
Yep. Forward momentum, and until Chesterton can prove they can stop it, Lake Central's not going to stop running it. 6 straight runs here to start this drive.
Play number 7 of the drive coming. Just a little bit over 8 minutes here in the first quarter. Williams again takes a couple of people with him before Danny Gavea brings him down from behind. And so far, the message has been clear from Rick Good and offensive coordinator Jim McCormick. If you can't stop the run, we're going to continue to run the ball.
Yep. Now we get it. Hey, 2 straight 3rd downs here, though. They didn't succeed to stop them on the last one. They give up a 20-yard run to Brooks. But here's your second opportunity to get off the field. That'd be a tough field goal for an NFL kicker. So this is a big down. I'd question whether or not it could be 4-down territory potentially to see what they can do here. So it'd be interesting to see if Chesterton can stop it.
And we see the quarterback, Kwiatkowski, split out. It's a direct snap to Brooks, who spins forward past the 30, out past the 25, close to the 20, a pickup of nearly 10 yards. And so far, Brooks, 2 carries on 3rd down, 2 first downs.
Yeah, he's kind of broke their will both times now. 3rd down, he had a 20-yard run. There's a 10-yard run. Really great patience there by Brooks as the offensive linemen start to set up their blocks on the outside, and he cuts it back inside. Really, really patient running, and then uses that explosiveness through the hole to get to the second level.
This drive started at the Lake Central 28. They're all the way to the Chesterton 22. Give to Williams. Bulldozes a couple of guys all the way up to the 15. And another good pickup on first down.
Yep. Now we're in the red zone. 9 straight runs. If I'm Chesterton, I'm bringing everybody in the box I possibly can. It's got to get to a point where, the rubber's got to meet the road. Chesterton's got to stop this at some point.
Let's see what Mark Peterson dials up here on 2nd down and 3. An extra backer closer to the line of scrimmage. It goes to Williams, fights off a tackle, loses his helmet, and I think he's right around the first down marker. But you talk about the physicality of this game. Yep. You saw it there.
Yeah, that was, always a scary moment when a player loses his helmet and he's in the scrum like that. Luckily for him, he was able to go down relatively unharmed.
3rd down and less than a yard. Lake Central has used up almost half the clock here in the first quarter. They've got an extra lineman in. The give to Williams, and I don't know if he got it.
He did
I
not.
think he is short.
Looks like it's 4th and 1.
And that wasn't Williams. It was Narmer Griffin, and it's going to be 4th down and about 2. And I think you've got a tough decision to make if you're Rick Good, but it looks like he's going to keep his offense on the field.
You've got the field position. You've been really breaking their spirits on 3rd down. It's 4th and 1. Just stick to what you're doing. They're going to run the ball again. I'll be shocked if they don't. Oh, we got a little motion with the quarterback going out. Set wide.
Direct snap to Williams, and Williams lunges forward. Does he have enough for the first down? That is the question.
Wow.
It was a good tackle on hand by Owen Edlin. And it's going to be close, but I think he got it.
Interesting little play call there from Coach Good. Quarterback in the backfield, then goes in motion and lines up in the slot. They run the Wildcat. Just barely got it, it looks like. They may bring out the chains, but in my opinion, Lake Central got the first down. But just by a nose, Chesterton, got to give them credit. This has been a tough drive for them. Lake Central's running all over them, but at the same time, they're battling. That was their third down, their first 4th down they forced, and they almost got off the field from it. So it'll be interesting to see. Long drive, so obviously, the Chesterton defense probably getting gassed at this point, so they get a little breather while the chain gang comes out.
Yeah, he got it by about the nose of the football. Not even the full football, but about the nose of it. And this drive now has been 12 plays and has covered close to 7 minutes of time. This has been a very efficient and, I guess, time-consuming drive, if you will.
Absolutely. And Lake Central shows no signs of, even thinking about passing. They're spreading them out 3 wide with 3 wide receiver sets, and then they're running it every single time. The quarterback has yet to keep it on any of these RPOs. Chesterton just can't stop the running backs.
Brooks, the man in motion. Williams off tackle run, breaks off a couple of tackles before getting out of bounds right around the 10. And a late flag comes in. We'll have to see what this is. It was good containment on the outside by John Fleming. I want to see what this is. It's the first penalty of the drive, first penalty of the game. A sideline warning against Lake Central. But a good tackle there by John Fleming as Xavier Williams broke free to the outside for a moment.
Yeah, the outside is battling, if you're Chesterton's defense. The defensive line has to get off their blocks. Lake Central's offensive linemen aren't relatively big. Maybe they're predicated more on speed, but at some point, the Chesterton defensive linemen got to get off their blocks and make a tackle.
Kwiatkowski, the quarterback, the first time we've called his name on the direct snap, gets maybe a yard or two, but this Chesterton defense, they've been on the field for a while, but they're standing tall.
They really are. This is 3rd and 3. This is going to be an interesting play call here because I don't know if they're going to go for it twice on 4th down.
And they can't pick up a first down here. They need the 2-yard line to move the sticks. They are at the 7, so 5 yards will put them right around the first down marker. Have yet to see Lake Central pass. No score. Quarter number 1. This is the only offensive series. Amarian Brooks, the motion man, takes the jet sweep. looks to work the outside, now cuts in, gets to the 5 before getting taken down, and then a late flag.
Yeah.
This could be a hold on the offense. A nice job there.
And if it is, it's a huge break for Chesterton.
Good tackle by Connor Katsafaros,
And it is a
the
hold.
D tackle. And it is a hold against Lake Central, so 3rd and 5 is going to become 3rd and 15. And now let's see if we get to see Kwiatkowski throw the ball for the first time tonight.
I mean, you basically have to. You know, you're in field goal range. Now it's, 3rd and 13. If you want any chance to score a touchdown here, maybe run a screen. That would be something, if I'm Coach Good, I'm thinking about here. But obviously Chesterton would be waiting for that to happen. So it'll be interesting to see what they dial up. On 4th down, the last pivotal down of this drive, had a little trickeration with the Wildcats, so maybe they have another, wild card up their sleeve.
Keep in mind, Owen Denny has hit a field goal from 40, so they might be setting this up to try and get as close as possible before setting up for a field goal. Williams and Kwiatkowski in the backfield. Throws, far sideline, and just a little bit too far out of bounds, out of reach of his receiver in James Graham. The first pass comes on the 14th play of the drive, and it'll be, the 15th play of the drive, and it is officially 4th down. 15 plays on that offensive series. The holding negates the previous play.
Okay.
And now we're going to get a field goal on hand from Owen Denny. It's a 34-yarder. Good snap, good hold. The kick is blocked and recovered by Chesterton.
What a defensive stand for Chesterton. Their sideline is going wild, and rightfully so. Blocked field goal to end this dominating drive by Lake Central. It's really interesting to see here as we've got the replay coming up here. You just got to give a lot of credit as they come off the edge. Chesterton, man, you got to give them so much credit. It looked like they were going to be out of that one and give up some points, and they come off the field unscathed. So really, really interesting stuff there.
It was Hayden DeMarco on the block from 34 yards. And now the Chesterton offense to work. First play up the gut. That's Garrett Lewis. And Lewis out of bounds near the first down marker on play number 1. It was Ethan Troy on the carry. Ethan Troy picks up the first down on the first offensive play from scrimmage tonight for the Chesterton Trojans. Yeah, a really good drive. 15 plays, 14 runs, but unfortunately for Lake Central, you don't get any points.
Yeah, and now Chesterton, as we mentioned in the pregame, stretching the edges, running the ball. That's going to be the key for them to see if they can stretch this defense out. They're throwing here on 2nd down.
Boswell with the bubble screen to Toma, but when he caught it, his knee was down, and this is actually going to be a loss on the play. And we've seen Toma and Garrett Lewis line up in the backfield so far tonight. They've been in the slot, and it's been Ethan Troy in the backfield with either Boswell or McCormick, and now we will see McCormick check in for the first time following the loss of 2 yards.
Yeah, that's a tough one because he had room to run. He just couldn't keep that knee off the ground. So now instead of getting some positive momentum, they're backed up a little bit here.
2 quarterbacks, McCormick in there with Boswell. Boswell to throw, and way over the head of his intended target.
And a late hit and a flag on the field.
A flag is in the backfield. You might be right. This might be roughing the passer.
And he didn't have to do it. That's the frustrating thing for Lake Central. The dangerous pass, and it could have been intercepted if it was on target. And instead, now Chesterton's going to be moving up the field. Didn't need to do the late hit. The pass was going to be well incomplete.
Roughing the passer against Lake Central. Looks like it was on the blitzer who hit Boswell as he threw it. And that's going to bring up 1st and 10 all the way to the Chesterton 46. 3 to the right of the quarterback, Boswell. Troy slips. They fake it to him. Now throw to the outside for Toma, and he can't hang on to it. A little high, but possibly could have been hung on to.
Yeah, the play kind of started a little herky-jerky. They had a play action to the running back, and you were wondering if maybe there was something going on there. He trips, and then all of a sudden Toma opens up on the sideline. He gets hit right in the numbers, and unfortunately for Toma, he couldn't hold on to it because, again, he had room to run. What a vast difference between offensive strategies between Chesterton and Lake Central. They've already passed it for a third time on this drive alone.
2nd down and 10. 3:16 here to go in the first, still scoreless. 3 in the backfield, Troy, Boswell, and McCormick. Boswell to pass, looks for his quarterback, McCormick, and down the sideline is pushed out of bounds right near the first down marker. You're seeing a lot of tricks so far up head coach Mark Peterson's sleeve, and a good job there by Mylan Davis on the outside, getting him out of bounds before the first down.
Yeah, really nice play. Had a potential for big yardage. Nice job by the DB for Lake Central to get him out of bounds, as you said. But it's 3rd and manageable, so it'll be interesting to see what Chesterton does here. They've been passing it a lot, so I wouldn't expect any different on this down.
They give him 6. It's 3rd and 4. Man in motion is Toma. The give to Troy, and Troy is way short of the marker. Andres Cedeno in on the stop. And right around midfield, Mark Peterson's got a tough choice here. Do you go for it? Do you punt the football? What do you do?
Man, that's a tough one. Lake Central certainly, was dominant on their first drive, and despite the fact that they didn't get any points. Field position is everything in a game like this. I mean, the first quarter's already almost over, but they choose to go for it. You gotta like the, encouragement to his players. Oh, fake pooch punt.
Yeah, McCormick was lined up at quarterback, and he ends up punting the ball. And this is going to be picked up just outside the Lake Central 20. So both teams able to move the ball a little bit on their opening series, but neither able to come away with points. Chesterton forced a punt. Lake Central has a blocked field goal. Give credit to both teams. They've done some good things offensively, and more importantly, have gotten the stops they needed on defense.
Yeah, it's a competitive game here so far, which we expected with both teams coming off a win last week. Big wins for both Chesterton over Portage and Lake Central over Michigan City. So we got what we signed up for. I question the pooch punt there. If you're going to punt it, just punt it. The punt was rushed. So in my opinion, they could have got a little more yardage off the punt.
Xavier Williams on first down has nowhere to go. Swabbed to the ground. Good job by Gavea along with Owen Edlin getting there quickly. And it's going to bring up about 2nd and 11. This Lake Central team has run 16 plays from scrimmage, and 15 of them have been run so far. And it was Xavier Williams, the junior, who got the ball the most of the time on the first series of the game.
Well, and with Chesterton's defensive line getting a little breather from, staying off the field for a minute, we're able to contain Williams there on that first down run, which they haven't been able to do so far.
Wykowski to pass, airs it out way out in front of his intended receiver. He had to get rid of it. The pressure was on, but a good job of covering by Ethan Chasko on James Graham. So 2 passes, 2 incompletions, and now 3rd and long. You might be forced to pass again if you're head coach Rick Good here for Lake Central.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because, both passes that Chase Kwiatkowski's put out there have been, over the head, obviously going for the end zone shot on the last drive. But that one, the wide receiver had inside leverage. It was one-on-one. Could have laid it out for his receiver to have a better chance at that ball. Instead, it's overthrown. No running back in the backfield, so they're going to be running it. Chesterton playing off a little bit.
Kwiatkowski to the left, throws low and incomplete. He was looking for his running back, Williams, in the flat, and just could not connect. And Lake Central goes 3 and out on their 2nd offensive series. Give credit to Chesterton. That first opening drive, they saw Lake Central work the ball from their own 28 all the way inside the Chesterton 20, but they've yet to allow any points so far.
Yeah, really nice job for Chesterton to hang in there when it seemed like that first drive they were getting ready to kind of get ran out of here. So, that's kind of what it is. It's a war of attrition, and And now Chesterton's in the ball game.
Garrett Lewis to return, and this is a boot off the foot of Lake Central's Jeff Cronin. It takes a Lake Central bounce and will be picked up just outside the 30. We'll take our first time out here on the Region Sports Network. Nearly through one, still no score between Lake Central and Chesterton. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
First play of the second offensive series is a completion over the middle to Garrett Lewis. Lewis at the 40-yard line of Chesterton picks up 9 on 1st and 10. And we talked about the two-quarterback system, and, well, we've seen both quarterbacks in there, Boswell and McCormick.
Yeah, nice job there by Chesterton. I mean, they're really showing a willingness to pass. Don't seem to be afraid, of Lake Central's defense in that regard, going at them.
Give to Lewis, tries to work the outside, close to the first down marker. I think he has it. And Garrett Lewis getting involved early on this second series. Didn't touch the ball a whole lot on their first offensive series. But after 3 touchdowns last week, well, he's getting the ball here on this series.
Yeah, gave him the ball there. He avoided the contact inside, bounced it to the outside. Luckily, he got the first down, but you want to go north-south. The more east-west you go on a run like that, only problems can occur. So he got away with it there.
Boswell gives to Lewis. He's got a little hole up the middle, but doesn't get much on it. Good job closing it up by Jeff Cronin at the outside linebacker position. And that is going to bring us to the end of quarter number 1. No score between Lake Central and Chesterton. We'll take a timeout. When we return, we'll be ready for the start of quarter number 2. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.
The homecoming balloons have been released here at Lake Central High as they make their way high and high up to the sky. We've had a good one so far here through one quarter of play. Jared Schlinsky alongside Greg Braggs. No score through one, but a lot of action early on. 2nd and 10, Chesterton on their own 41. It's Boswell to pass, and up the middle, he finds his man, the slot receiver, in Ethan Troy, and Troy very close to the first down. We've seen Troy run the ball out of the backfield. Now we see him catch the ball from the slot receiver position.
Yeah, really nice job by Chesterton. They're opening up the passing game, and so far Lake Central's having a tough time stopping it. They're moving the chains, so it's an interesting start to this game.
3rd down and 1. They are at midfield. They need to get to the Lake Central 49 to move the sticks. They are in the gun. Motion man Toma. Give up the middle. It goes to Garrett Lewis, and Lewis has the first down before being brought down by Jeff Lucas and Nick Arcella.
Really nice job by the senior right tackle, Hunter Booza. Really setting the tone on that run. You got to give Bryce Toma a lot of credit. He had the patience to start, and then when it was time to kick it in high gear, got the first down. But I saw Hunter Booza put a guy on the ground and pancake by the 275-pound senior right tackle. Nice job.
Empty formation, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Boswell, the quarterback, takes the snap at the knees, throws to the left on the outside, and it is caught by the head coach's son, Tyler Peterson. Leads this team with 13 receptions. Well, he gets in the action here with his first catch on 1st and 10.
On time and in rhythm. Got to give credit to these guys. They certainly look prepared for a tough road environment. That was a really, really nice play. That's how you start a first down series. You know, now you can go into your bag of tricks if you're Chesterton's offensive coordinator. You can open up the playbook here with second and manageable. This is interesting. You know, Lake Central's going to be on their toes here for this down because they can run or pass. Got a lot of options.
2nd and 4, Boswell to pass. Over the middle, deflected. It's incomplete. The deflection by Ben Spang, the outside linebacker, able to get his hands on that. And he's lucky because if he doesn't tip it, that could have been a completion for a pretty big chunk.
Yeah, it could have been a pick six too. Really nice job by the linebacker to sit in that zone and read the quarterback's eyes. They kind of are starting to have a feel of what Chesterton's trying to do in the passing game. And, Chesterton has to be careful on passes like that because they could go the other way real quick.
3rd down and 5. Boswell at quarterback. To the right of him, that's Garrett Lewis. He has all sorts of time and delivers a missile on time, but a little bit behind his receiver. He was looking for Toma, the running back. It falls to the turf and is going to bring up 4th down.
Really nice pass, though. It was where it needed to be. A defender draped all over him, gave his receiver a chance to come down with it for the first down. He just couldn't make the catch. So it looks like, I'm assuming a punt team is going to be coming out. But, again, they're going with the offensive set. Will they pooch it again?
Let's see. 4th down. McCormick, he punted out of this position the last time, and he punts again. It takes a Chesterton bounce, and we'll get all the way to the Lake Central 14. So both teams have had the ball now for 2 offensive series, and both teams so far have yet to find points. Early thoughts so far, Greg?
I'm impressed so far, honestly, with Chesterton. Coming in here at 2-4, the Lake Central's the favorites. They have a huge win against Michigan City. But like we talked about in the pregame, maybe Chesterton was starting to find their groove. They win 41-7 against Portage. So they come here, a homecoming night, hostile environment, on the road. So for them to, get off that first drive field goal, and then just what they've shown in the passing game so far, I like how they're battling.
Wojtowski, the quarterback, takes the snap from his running back. And on 1st down, he'll get out to about the 13, so not a whole lot there on 1st down as Lake Central's best series by far and away their first offensive series, but since then, haven't been able to find a whole lot.
No, they haven't. So it's going to be interesting to see if at some point Chase Kwiatkowski gets into the passing game because here these last 2 drives, it seems like Chesterton, when they came back to the sidelines after that first drive, they get the blocked field goal, they made some adjustments. So it'll be interesting to see this chess match.
Kwiatkowski to Williams, breaks off a couple of tackles, tries to get to the outside, and past the 20, right around the 23, is going to be enough for a 1st down. And again, we talked about it, yards after contact. Xavier Williams, you might be able to get to him early, but you got to bring him down.
Yeah, another really impressive run by Xavier Williams. He's, he just put the team on his back there and said, all right, let's get back to what we're doing. Get back to what I'm doing. Give me the ball, and I'll get you the 1st down. And he did that there.
Pickup of 11. 7 in the box for Chesterton. Kwiatkowski to pass. Pressure comes. He rolls out. With time, a late flag, uses his legs, and is taken down from behind at about the 33. A good pickup on 1st down. The question is, will it stay?
Looks like it was a hold on the back end. Quarterback took a tough hit, so that's, tough for Lake Central because he had big yardage, was able to get outside, get down the sideline, took a big hit, would have been some, nice yardage. Instead, it's coming back.
Half the distance to the goal, a hold against against Lake Central, wipes out that 9-yard gain We talked about the Subaru keys to the game, the Castle Subaru keys to the game early on today, and we talked about Lake Central not having to put it all on the hands of the sophomore Chase Kwiatkowski. Well, they've done a good job of that so far. He's only had it thrown twice as the jet sweep goes to Amari and Brooks is slammed to the ground for a loss. This has been, I think, the way Lake Central has wanted it. They've gotten the ball to their go-to guy, Xavier Williams.
Yeah, really nice job there to set the edge by Chesterton, number 37.
Devin Sane, yeah.
Did a really nice job of keeping that from getting to the sidelines. You got to give Chesterton credit. These holding penalties are killing Lake Central. Killed them on the first drive where it looked like they were going to score, and now on this drive, where they're starting to get a little momentum back. You can't have penalties in a game like this.
Option kept by Kwiatkowski, and Kwiatkowski does not get a whole lot. He was at the 9, now up to about the 10. He'll be lucky to get more than a yard or two. And this is going to bring up 3rd down and 19. Not exactly what you don't have many plays in the playbook for 3rd and 19.
No, you don't. I mean, you're going to have to either run a screen or a draw here and just hope you can get as many yards as you can, and then you got to get off the field, punt, and hope your defense can hold serve.
Lake Central with 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. The one at the bottom of your screen is James Graham. The screen, like you said, to the outside, and that is Lamar Richardson taken out from behind. A good setup there, but not going to have enough for the first down.
No, they didn't run a running back screen. They ran a wide receiver screen that had a lot of potential to it. It was well executed. Started to get some blockers his way. Chesterton did a nice job of corralling it. Obviously, 3rd and 18, so they had an opportunity for a margin of error there. But a really nice draw up there from Coach Good. But 3rd and 18, you're hoping for a miracle at that point. But a nice play nonetheless.
Owen Denny stands at his own 5, and he gets off a low bouncing punt that has a high bounce at the end and is touched right around the Chesterton 40. And that is where the Chesterton Trojans will go to work offensively on their 3rd offensive series. 7 minutes and 17 seconds remaining here in the first half, and a reminder to you that to keep it here with us at halftime, we will have the Strack and Ventil scoreboard. That's brought to you by your favorite Indiana-made grocery store, and will also be part of the Hose Connections halftime show. Hose Connections, proven under pressure. 7-17, no score, Chesterton. On offense, it goes to the running back, Ethan Troy, and Troy maybe gets a yard on 1st down.
Interesting, all the passing Chesterton does, and maybe now that field position's kind of in their favor. Clock's running, 7 minutes to go already, just left in this first half. Slow the game down a little bit, see what you can do on the run. But Chesterton's passing game certainly has been their bread and butter so far, so I expect them to go through the air here on 2nd down. Got to be careful, though, because they almost had a pick 6 on the last drive, so don't want to get too frivolous with it.
Sebastian Boswell, the junior, in there with the sophomore Brady McCormick. It goes to McCormick, and McCormick out to about the 43 before being stuffed by Andres Cedano and Ben Spang. And it's going to bring up 3rd down and long for the Chesterton Trojans.
Yeah, this is a dangerous spot if you're Chesterton. Lake Central, they got to be looking to hunt for that turnover, because it's, I'd be surprised if Chesterton ran the ball here. They've had such success through the air, so they're going to try to pass it. That's where you want to drop into a zone and hope they make a mistake.
3 down linemen. Toma, the motion man. Boswell to his right. Takes a shot and finds his man at the marker and then some. Keeps going. Peterson as a flag follows at the 5, the 10 for the pylon. He's in. The question is, will it stand?
Wow.
A late flag might negate this 58-yard touchdown.
What a pass.
It might be a block in the back against Levi Wheeling. Let's see.
And he didn't have to do it. The play was already, he was gone. Touchdown. And if they, call this a block in the back, that's brutal because it was not needed.
If it's the case, it should be a first down because the flag happened after the first down. It should still be a first down, but it would wipe out the touchdown. And, well, you saw the speed, the athleticism from Tyler Peterson. Catches it, makes one man miss, and finds the end zone.
What a pass. This quarterback's got some moxie. He fired that ball in there. He's given his receivers an opportunity to make big plays.
On first down, Ethan Troy, direct snap, lunges forward past the Lake Central 35 for a pickup about 6. And, wow, that could be a huge momentum shifter. Instead of a touchdown, you get a first down. Let's see how this plays out for Chesterton.
Got to give them credit, though. They put their head back down. That's a back-breaking call. You have an opportunity to take the lead there at 7-0, and they come right to it and get a 6-yard run to start this drive. So Chesterton continues to get positive momentum. This is a dangerous down for Lake Central's defense. It's 2nd and 4. Chesterton's playbook wide open.
Troy again, direct snap, patiently waits, breaks off an ankle tackle, and lunges forward for maybe a yard or two. Tyrone Susner, the man at the bottom of the pile, and this is going to bring up 3rd down and about less than a yard with just over 5 minutes to go.
And it could have been a loss of yards on that run. Instead, fighting through the tackle, getting into the teeth of the defensive line, was able to make it 3rd and 1. So credit to Chesterton there for not giving up on the play.
No Boswell in. It's Garrett Lewis. Off tackle to the right, cuts inside, has the first down, and rumbles forward to the 25. A pickup of 6, and Garrett Lewis getting the bulk of the touches here now as of late for this Chesterton offense.
I got to say, I wasn't sure how to take that Chesterton dancing on their logo to start this game, but they've come out with the fire. I know Lake Central's first drive certainly seemed like, this could be a long day for Chesterton. But since then, Chesterton has all the energy. I'm looking at Lake Central's sidelines, not seeing a lot of energy over there. So, Chesterton's really breaking their spirits. And if they can get a score here, that only adds to that pressure.
Garrett Lewis with 7 offensive linemen in front of him has a hole, keeps working it to the outside, past the 20 and close to the 15 before going down out of bounds. A good job by Mylan Davis on the stop. And, well, you're seeing the run game taking effect and being effective for this Chesterton offense.
Yeah, they have balance. I'm jotting down run, pass for each team. They have balance. Lake Central does not. That's making Lake Central's defense play on their heels because they don't necessarily know what's coming. A lot of what Lake Central's running, while Xavier Williams is very good, it's a little more predictable. So it's interesting to see Chesterton's play calling here so far. A really nice job by them.
Garrett Lewis, off tackle run, jumps inside at the 15 and has the first down. Since that touchdown was negated from Boswell to Tyler Peterson, we haven't seen Boswell come back in, and it's been Garrett Lewis taking the direct snaps. We haven't seen a pass since the touchdown was negated on the block in the back.
Yep, and Garrett Lewis, as you mentioned last week, with 2 touchdowns, certainly capable. Wide receiver with a little bit of power to him. So now we're starting to see here at 3 in the backfield.
Lewis again patiently waits for a hole, hits the hole, gets to the 10, and this will bring up 2nd and 7. This Lake Central team, they are on their heels, but they are not breaking quite yet.
Be interesting to see if, maybe they're just going to stick to this package. This is the Garrett Lewis. I almost said Garrett Wilson from the New York Jets. Garrett Lewis package. So it'll be interesting to see because, to me, with the way they've been running the ball on this drive, a play action could be something that could really open things up and, get them in the end zone.
Brady McCormick, the quarterback. His fullback is Levi Wheeling. Garrett Lewis behind him. It goes back to Lewis. Lewis tries to cut inside and doesn't have a whole lot there. Good job there being disciplined by Ben Spang, and this is going to bring up third down and about 4 to go as the game clock hits 2:45. You talk about controlling the clock, time of possession. That's what Chesterton's doing on this drive. They've had this ball for over 5 minutes.
And for the, aside from that first drive, obviously, which was a big one for Lake Central and a backbreaker with the missed field goal, Chesterton has controlled every drive and pretty much the entire game since then.
Let's see what Chesterton does here on 3rd and 5. Wheeling along with McCormick. Motion man is Lewis, and McCormick has the first down. Does he have the touchdown? He's close to the goal line. He's just short. 7 yards on the quarterback keeper, and they are knocking on the door of the Lake Central end zone.
I mean, do you just sneak it in? Or do you get your fullback involved here? I wouldn't be trying to get too crazy right on the goal line. Just you're moving this Lake Central defense. Keep it simple and go straight. Don't be, in my opinion, if you go east and west, you're doing Lake Central a favor. I would just try to, get under center and punch this in.
Wheeling behind the center. It goes to Lewis, and Lewis rumbles forward for 6. It's Chesterton striking first on the road with 1:59 to go. We will have a look at the instant replay here as we pull it up.
Yeah, really nice job by Chesterton. This team... First and 1 from the goal line as the extra point goes through the uprights. Really, really, really impressive start from Chesterton. Their offensive coordinator's got a lot to be proud of. He's got Lake Central on their heels.
A 1-yard rushing touchdown for Garrett Lewis has given Chesterton the opening lead. 7-0, 1:59 to go. We'll take a quick timeout here on Region Sports. When we return, we'll be ready for the final 2 minutes of the first half. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Attention homeowners, ready to start your next project? Need to pay off your debt? Refinance your home? Unlock the value of your home with a Centier Bank no-fee home equity loan or home equity line of credit. Stop by a local Centier branch today or visit us on the web at centier.com/home equity. Terms and conditions subject to change without notice, subject to credit approval. Centier Bank, NMLS number 408076, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Chesterton on the road strikes first with an 11-play drive covering just over 5 minutes. Capped off by a rushing touchdown from Garrett Lewis to make it 7-0 Chesterton. 1:59 to go here on Lake Central's homecoming. And, well, so far, edged Chesterton through a half.
Yeah, the Garrett Lewis drive there. They passed it all over the yard the first few drives, and then they got to the ground game. Garrett Lewis with 2 touchdowns last week. Now he's got 1 this week.
Wheeling kicks off. It is hauled in by Lamar Richardson, and Richardson is drilled by Danny Gavea. And did that ball come out?
It was close, but no replay in high school, so Lake Central gets off the field. But you want to be careful there if you're a return man. It was definitely close, but Lake Central's got the ball, and Chase Kwiatkowski's coming out, and we'll see what they can do with under 2 minutes to play. I mean, you want to try to respond to this, but you got to be careful, too. Getting a little too overzealous. Chase Kwiatkowski has looked a little rattled at times when they have asked him to pass. So I don't know if you just start opening things up, but let's see if they have a 2-minute offense installed, and let's see how he runs it.
From their own 25, it goes to Xavier Williams, and he is ankle tackled at the 30 as the clock will continue to roll The question is, if you're head coach Rick Good for Lake Central, do you just let this time go off, going to the half down 7-0, or do you want to see if you can get something going here offensively?
I mean, it's definitely a thought, right? Because, Lake Central has looked out of sorts since that blocked field goal. Xavier Williams is always, liable to break one.
And Williams trying to break one to the outside there, cannot break free. Containment on the outside by Owen Edlin, and John Fleming is going to bring up third down. And, Chesterton, I don't think has any intention of calling a timeout. Looks like they're going to be okay going up 7-0 into the half.
But did Chesterton just call a timeout because the clock is stopped now?
Well, if they did, that's what makes the most sense. Chesterton might want to see if they can get the ball back one more time. Yeah, there have been some clock issues.
Well, now it says no seconds.
43 seconds.
Yeah, they're stop and play because there's been a little bit of a clock malfunction.
And that is where we'll stop, I guess, with them here. Let's talk about this drive. 2 plays. 3 yards, and Lake Central, I think, is content going into the half, up or down 7-0. The question is, if you're Chesterton, do you call a timeout? Maybe if you get the stop and see if you can move the ball on your next offensive series before the end of the half.
I mean, if you were to, it's only to see if you can force them into a mistake. I mean, a fumble is still on the table here on third down. But aside from that, I think if you're Chesterton, you're playing with house money at this point. You're up going into the halftime tunnel. You just kind of just let it happen and get out the way. Let's see if
Williams to the outside on third down is really close to the marker. Let's see if they give him the first down. The clock is stopped, and I think he did get out of bounds just short of the marker. Bring up fourth down, and it looks like Lake Central is going to be forced to punt before the end of the half.
And anything can happen here. You got to like the hustle from Xavier Williams. He's trying to carry this team back. They haven't had the greatest first half, but hey, if you're Chesterton, you're hoping for a mistake.
Owen Denning gets off the best punt of the day, and it's fair caught for by Garrett Lewis. And with 26 seconds, Chesterton will go back to work offensively. The question is, do they try and move the ball? Do you take a knee? You get the ball to begin the second half. Is it worth risking maybe giving away good field position here with a turnover?
No, if you're Chesterton, you take a knee and you run right to that halftime tunnel. I mean, they've done everything they could here in this first half, an impressive first half by the coaching staff and players. You don't want to mess that up by a silly mistake that gives Lake Central momentum going into the second half. Chesterton gets the ball to start the second half as well. So, no, you just take this knee, and it looks like they will.
Let's see what they do. It is a knee taken by Brady McCormick, and that will be the end of the first half. At least it should be. The clock didn't start at all. I don't know if Lake Central called the timeout. Now the clock rolls. And that will be the end of the first half. It's Lake Central trailing on homecoming on their home turf 7-0 to the Chesterton Trojans. The difference so far, scoreboard-wise, the 1-yard rushing touchdown from Garrett Lewis. We're going to take a timeout. When we return, we'll be ready for the Hose Connections halftime report presented to you by Hose Connections. Proven under pressure. Again, Chesterton on top of Lake Central, 7-0. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Since 2000, Hose Connections in Hammond has been a premier leader in the hydraulics industry. Hose Connections is a one-stop shop offering quality hydraulic and pneumatic products and services. Hose Connections takes pride in not only meeting, but exceeding customers' expectations. To learn all about the products and services that Hose Connections offers, visit hoseconnectionsinc.com or call 219-844-6570. Hose Connections in Hammond. Proven under pressure. For over 113 years, Burns Funeral Home and Crematory has been assisting families in their time of need. Serving Northwest Indiana, the staff at Burns Funeral Home and Crematory will help guide your family in creating a meaningful ceremony to honor the life and memory of a loved one. Whether it's a simple, elaborate, traditional, or unique service, the caring family at Burns Funeral Home and Crematory will tailor a ceremony to fit your needs. Visit them on the web at burnsfuneral.com or give them a call at 942-1117.
Flip the switch, a light turns on. Press the button, machines and instruments come to life. Touch the screen, communicate with the world. Simple tasks, guaranteed results, every second of every day. That's the power of power. And that's the power brought to you by the NECA contractors and electrical workers of Local 531.
Are you a steel hauler? Come work for Area Transportation. You must have a current valid Class A commercial driver's license and at least 1 year of recent verifiable steel hauling experience and at least 2 years of recent verifiable interstate experience operating a commercial motor vehicle. Call recruiting at 1-855-400-6939. That's 1-855-400-6939.
A sudden injury or illness can happen anytime. When it does, feel better fast. Urgent care at Pinnacle Hospital. We have a network of highly qualified physicians, and your wait is minutes, not hours. We offer on-site laboratory and radiology services. We accept most insurance, Medicare, and Medicaid, plus the biggest cash pay discount in Northwest Indiana. We're recognized by Pregame in the top 3% in the country for customer satisfaction. Feeling better fast. Urgent care at Pinnacle Hospital.
Thank you for taking me home. It's so far.
Don't worry about it, Grandma. This will be fun. 2 chocolate milkshakes, please.
Make it 3.
3?
Did you get his number?
No, Grandma. Grandma!
Excuse me?
Some relationships get better with time. That's why I got a Crosstrek.
97% of Subaru vehicles sold in the last 10 years are still on the road.
I'm so glad you got a Subaru.
I wonder who gave me the idea.
Oh.
Love. It's what makes Subaru, Subaru.
Check out the new Subarus at Castle Subaru in Portage. Ethos Dental Group in Munster, Crown Point, and Cedar Lake offers a full scope of general and cosmetic dentistry with expertise ranging from porcelain veneers to dental implants, crowns, and bridges. At Ethos Dental Group, you're assured that Dr. Mark Stojkovic and his associates, Dr. Emily Hansen and Dr. Brian Douts, utilize the latest in technology. Check out ethosdentalgroup.com or call 219-595-3432 to schedule an appointment. Ethos Dental Group, Munster, Crown Point, and Cedar Lake. Hanger Insurance Group in Crown Point is passionate about providing a premier service insurance agency featuring customized coverage and meaningful relationships. They understand that you've built a life and they want to help you protect it. From home to life insurance, they offer a wide variety of coverage to fit your needs. From choosing a plan to filing claims, Hanger Insurance Group agents are ready to help. Stop in for a quote at 950 South Court Street in Crown Point or visit them online at hangerinsurancegroup.com. Protect what you love. American Community Bank is a local bank serving the Northwest Indiana area exclusively for over a century. A true community bank that is proud to remain a faithful local institution dedicated to being your financial partner throughout life. With branches in Cherville, Crown Point, Dyer, Hammond, and Munster, American Community Bank is a full-service bank serving clients with personal and business banking needs. Visit acbanker.com to find out more about American Community Bank.
High school football fans, welcome back to Friday night, to pure spirits, to pure sports. Welcome back to high school football.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back!
This is Friday night. This is Indiana high school football. This is your IHSAA.
You're watching the Hose Connections Halftime Report, brought to you by Hose Connections on Kennedy Avenue in Hammond. Visit them online at hoseconnectionsinc.com. Hose Connections, proven under pressure. Jared Slensky alongside Greg Braggs. One of the fastest first halves you'll see in high school football. A lot of running, and so far, only one score the difference. The 1-yard rushing touchdown from Chesterton's running back, Garrett Lewis. It's given them a 7-0 lead. We've seen these offenses, for the most part, move the ball, but fail to finish in the red zone. You got to give credit to these defenses. They're bending a little bit, but they're not breaking. They're getting the stops when they need them most.
Yeah, I mean, to me, Lake Central's running a lot, especially that first drive. 15 runs on that first drive alone, but since then, only 23 runs for the whole half, and only 4 times passing the ball. And to me, that's the story of the first half, is Chesterton's balance and Lake Central's lack of balance, and more predictable, where Chesterton was able to kind of understand what they're trying to do in the run game and slow them down. Chesterton, on the other hand, only 14 total runs for the half and 9 passes. But yes, on the touchdown drive, it was the Garrett Lewis drive. They ran it 9 times on that drive, and almost every time it was to Garrett Lewis, and then he finishes it off with the 1-yard touchdown run. So, Chesterton, to me, balanced attack, which is keeping Lake Central on their heels. Lake Central going back to the drawing board. Yes, Xavier Williams is very talented, but you got to do some things to make Chesterton think about what they're trying to run.
Yeah, I think head coach Mark Peterson found something on that touchdown drive. You called it the Garrett Lewis drive, and it makes sense. He touched the ball 9 times on that drive, but it wasn't him getting the ball every time as a running back. They lined him up in the slot as a receiver. He caught passes. He took the ball in the direct snap. The Wildcat went off tackle, and then the touchdown, he went between the tackles. They're finding ways to utilize Lewis and ultimately put him in positions where maybe Lake Central isn't expecting to see him get the football.
Yeah, 100%. And on that drive, they have a 48-yard touchdown pass called back because of a block in the back. And a lot of teams, that would mess up everything they're doing. And instead, they kept their head down, kept to what they were doing, and continued to drive the ball upfield for the touchdown. You got to give Chesterton a lot of credit to come in here on homecoming night. Lake Central's on their heels right now. It'll be interesting to see what halftime adjustments are made.
We won't know until the end of the game, but one of the plays in the running right now for the Proud Union home play of the game, brought to you by IKORCC, is that blocked field goal, and it was Hayden DeMarco blocking the kick from 34 yards out after a 15-play drive got stalled out by Lake Central. It seems like once Chesterton got the blocked kick, everything has gone their way.
Yeah, it was a huge blocked field goal. No chance. I mean, they came off the edge. Hayden DeMarco, great job by them. And, yeah, ever since then, all the momentum Chesterton's way. So, hey, the underdogs took the first, punch. Every man has a plan until they get hit in the mouth, as Mike Tyson once said. I mean, they came out here and were stomping on their logo to start this game, and it looked like Lake Central took exception to that. Well, now they have to take exception to what the scoreboard says, and that reads 7-0 Trojans with the lead on their home turf. If you're Lake Central, you got to come back and respond.
And we'll take a timeout here. That is our first half recap. When we return, we'll take a look at some other scores from across the region, and those scores will be brought to you by Strack and Van Til. But for now, we'll take a quick timeout and return here on the Host Connections Halftime Report. You're watching Game Night on Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Did you know?
Wow, they'll prepare fresh fish while you wait.
Did you know?
They make over 40,000 donuts from scratch every week.
Did you know?
They offer 23 different deli platters for your party.
Did you know?
They have freshly chopped fajita mix ready to cook.
Did you know?
They have the best fried chicken in the area.
Did you know?
They offer our signature curbside service 14 hours a day.
Strack and Van Til. Now you know.
Hi, I'm Crowell Company's Lantern Man. I'll cover your motorcycle. I'll be with you on the water. I'll be with you on the snow. I'll cover your insurance needs wherever you go. I'll be at Crowell Agency from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Companies, the insurance professionals in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like health care and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.
Attention homeowners, ready to start your next project? Need to pay off your debt? Refinance your home? Unlock the value of your home with a Centier Bank no-fee home equity loan or home equity line of credit. Stop by a local Centier branch today or visit us on the web at centier.com/home equity. Terms and conditions subject to change without notice, subject to credit approval. Centier Bank, NMLS number 408076, equal housing lender, member FDIC.
The scoreboard update is brought to you by Strachan Van Til. Strachan Van Til, your favorite Indiana-made grocery store. Follow all of tonight's region football scores live on the Strachan Van Til hometown scoreboard, streaming online at facebook.com/regionsports and online at regionsports.com. Strachan Van Til, your local grocer with over 89 years of heritage. We got a lot of scores so far, and currently West Side, the Cougars on top of the East Chicago Central Cardinals, 30-0. That game in the second quarter. Maybe game of the week, number 2 Maryville against number 5 Valpo at the half. It's 16-7 Maryville on top at home. All Hobart, the number 6 Hobart Brickies 24, the Kankakee Valley Cougars 2. That game at the half, like we told you earlier. The halftime score here, Chesterton 7, Lake Central nothing. That right now is considered an upset. Crown Point, number 1 team in the region, looking to jump to 7-0. They're all over LaPorte, 30-0. That game in the second quarter. Hanover Central leads big over Whiting, 49-0. And that is your Strachan Van Til hometown scoreboard. A couple of other scores. Andrean, number 4 team in the region, all over Munster, 37-0. And Lowell tied with Highland. That game is already in the third quarter at 7-all. That is your Strachan Van Til scoreboard update, brought to you by your friends at Strachan Van Til Grocery Store, your local grocery store with over 89 years of heritage. We'll take another timeout here on the Hose Connections halftime report. When we return, we'll have our Subaru keys to the second half. That's your Castle Subaru keys to the start of the second half with Greg Braggs. It's coming up next here between Lake Central and Chesterton on Region Sports, the only game in town.
Since 2000, Hose Connections in Hammond has been a premier leader in the hydraulics industry. Hose Connections is a one-stop shop offering quality hydraulic and pneumatic products and services. Hose Connections takes pride in not only meeting, but exceeding customers' expectations. To learn all about the products and services that Hose Connections offers, visit hoseconnectionsinc.com or call 219-844-6570. Hose Connections in Hammond, proven under pressure. For over 113 years, Burns Funeral Home and Crematory has been assisting families in their time of need. Serving Northwest Indiana, the staff at Burns Funeral Home and Crematory will help guide your family in creating a meaningful ceremony to honor the life and memory of a loved one. Whether it's a simple, elaborate, traditional, or unique service, the caring family at Burns Funeral Home and Crematory will tailor a ceremony to fit your needs. Visit them on the web at burnsfuneral.com or give them a call at 942-1117.
Flip the switch, a light turns on. Press the button, machines and instruments come to life. Touch the screen, communicate with the world. Simple tasks, guaranteed results. That's of power. And that's the power brought to you by the Nika contractors and electrical workers of Local 531.
Are you a steel hauler? Come work for Area Transportation. You must have a current valid Class A commercial driver's license and at least 1 year of recent verifiable steel hauling experience and at least 2 years of recent verifiable interstate experience operating a commercial motor vehicle. Call recruiting at 1-855-400-6939. That's 1-855-400-6939.
Sudden injury or illness can happen anytime. When it does, feel better fast. Urgent care at Pinnacle Hospital. We have a network of physicians and minutes, hours. We offer on-site laboratory and radiology services. We accept most insurance, Medicare, and Medicaid, plus the biggest cash pay discount.
Thank you for taking me home. It's so far.
Don't worry about it, Grandma. This will be fun. 2 chocolate milkshakes, please.
Make it 3.
3?
Did you get his number?
No, Grandma. Grandma!
Excuse me?
Some relationships get better with time. That's why I got a Crosstrek.
97% of Subaru vehicles sold in the last 10 years are still on the road.
I'm so glad you got a Subaru.
I wonder who gave me the idea.
Oh.
Love. It's what makes Subaru, Subaru.
Check out the new Subarus at Castle Subaru in Portage.
It's time for the Castle Subaru's keys to the second half. Jared Schlensky alongside Greg Braggs. We got a good one on hand tonight here on homecoming between Lake Central and Chesterton at Lake Central High. Let's start with the hosting Lake Central Indians. They're down 7-0. If they're going to get back into this game, they're going to do it how?
Yeah, to me, the key to this half is balance for both teams. So for Lake Central, they have to find some balance. You cannot just have 23 runs and 4 passes and expect to win this game. Chesterton is dialed into what you're trying to do, running the ball. All respect to Xavier Williams. He's a very talented running back. He could break one at any second. I understand that. But you would help him out a lot if you could. I mean, it's not just passing. There's misdirection you can do, short passing game. It doesn't all have to be downfield, but they have to get something going outside of just handing the ball off to Xavier Williams to open up those holes for Xavier Williams. So, to me, they have to find balance offensively.
And if Chesterton is going to hold on, they're going to do it how?
Well, like I said, if I'm going to be a broken record, but they have been balanced, so they have to stay with that balance. Keep Lake Central, on their heels, guessing. And, yes, that last drive was run dominant, but for the half, they had great balance, passing the ball with really nice efficiency. They almost had a 48-yard touchdown pass. Quarterback is throwing strikes. Now they get the running game involved. Continue to have that balance, keep Lake Central on their heels, and good things are going to come. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out, and Chesterton gets the ball to start the second half.
Well, there you have it. You heard it first from our man, Greg Braggs. Those are our Castle Subaru second half keys to the game. Check out the Castle inventory of new and used vehicles at castlesubaru.com, located on Highway 6 in Portage and online at castlesubaru.com. The start of the second half coming up in about 3 minutes. We'll have it here for you on Region Sports between Chesterton and Lake Central. After one half, it's Chesterton 7, Lake Central nothing. You're watching Game Night on Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Ethos Dental Group in Munster, Crown Point, and Cedar Lake offers a full scope of general and cosmetic dentistry with expertise ranging from porcelain veneers to dental implants, crowns, and bridges. At Ethos Dental Group, you're assured that Dr. Mark Stojkovic and his associates, Dr. Emily Hansen and Dr. Brian Douts, utilize the latest in technology. Check out ethosdentalgroup.com or call 219-595-3432 to schedule an appointment. Ethos Dental Group, Munster, Crown Point, and Cedar Lake. Hanger Insurance Group in Crown Point is passionate about providing a premier service insurance agency featuring customized coverage and meaningful relationships. They understand that you've built a life and they want to help you protect it. From home to life insurance, they offer a wide variety of coverage to fit your needs. From choosing a plan to filing claims, Hanger Insurance Group agents are ready to help. Stop in for a quote at 950 South Court Street in Crown Point or visit them online at hangerinsurancegroup.com. Protect what you love. American Community Bank is a local bank serving the Northwest Indiana area exclusively for over a century. A true community bank that is proud to remain a faithful local institution dedicated to being your financial partner throughout life. With branches in Cherville, Crown Point, Dyer, Hammond, and Munster, American Community Bank is a full-service bank serving clients with personal and business banking needs. Visit acbanker.com to find out more about American Community Bank.
High school football fans, welcome back to Friday nights, to pure spirits, to pure sports. Welcome back to high school football.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Friday night. This is Indiana high school football. This is your IHSAA.
Did you know?
They decorate over 210,000 cakes a year.
Did you know?
Their butcher will cut your meat your way.
Did you know?
They have trained floral designers in store.
Did you know?
They will make your wedding cake?
Did you know?
They have a variety of deli bakeable entrees.
Did you know?
Their online app has coupons and so much more. Who does that?
Strachan Van Til. Now you know.
Welcome back to Lake Central High School, home of the Indians. It's homecoming. It's a great crowd, a great atmosphere on a chilly Friday night in what was an extremely fast-moving first half. We can only hope it'll be just as exciting as the first half concludes, and the second half is shortly from getting underway. Jared Schlinsky joined by Greg Braggs. The score, Chesterton 7, Lake Central nothing. And while Chesterton so far, Greg, doing a great job of playing spoiler tonight.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, they're up to the challenge. Like we've mentioned a few times, they came out heated, kind of showing a little bit of disrespect to Lake Central, getting on their logo before the game even started. And I felt like Lake Central's team took exception to it, but at the same time, Chesterton's backing up the talk with the way they're playing. And that's something I'm going to be looking at is the demeanor of the Lake Central sideline, because it really seemed like, halfway into that second quarter, they were breaking their spirit. Looks like the crowd's trying to get into it a little bit, bring some energy to this homecoming night for Lake Central, getting the players on the sideline jumping around, and that's what they need. They need to get the energy back up and, see what they got to answer the first punch. It's a punch-counter-punch game, and Chesterton gets the ball first, so it's going to start at the defensive end if you're Lake Central.
3 returners back for Chesterton: Hayden DeMarco, Bryce Toma, and Garrett Lewis. The kick is underway, and Lewis steps into the end zone, but they're going to let him take it out. Fakes the reverse, keeps it down the far sideline, and gets all the way about to the 25. A good start on hand for the Chesterton return unit as we get ready to begin the second half.
Somebody I really want to point out here for Lake Central's defense is Ben Spang. I really feel like he's stepped up here tonight. He almost had a pick six. He's fighting in the run game. I'm going to look for somebody like that. Obviously, the head coach for Lake Central, he talked about the DBs being big in this game, but I thought Ben Spang really had a nice first half for them.
We are officially into the second half. Chesterton on top 7-0. They deferred to the second half after winning the opening coin toss. And we are going to start with Sebastian Boswell dropping back to pass and over the head of his intended target, Ethan Troy. We saw a good balance of run and pass in the first half from Chesterton, and, well, they come out throwing the ball right away.
Yeah, a little too much juice on that. It's a short pass, so you don't need all that mustard on it. And unfortunately, couldn't come down with it, but it would have been a tough one to come down with. Like I said, he needs to settle down and not fire it in when it's just, short passing game like that. You dink and dunk. You don't need it all.
Ethan Troy in the backfield along with Sebastian Boswell. The give goes to Troy, working the outside, and Troy pushed out of bounds around the 28. A good job of selling the run by Boswell, and ultimately Lewis able to create a little bit there and set up third and about 6.
And again, Ben Spang chasing that ball carrier down. Now it's 3rd and long. If he doesn't get out there and get to him, it's 3rd and manageable. Instead, it's 3rd and long. So Ben Spang already showing up here in the second half. He's having a nice game.
This would be a big start for this Lake Central team. Really struggled towards the end of that first half. If they could get a 3 and out and get the ball back to their offense to begin the second half, this could ignite them.
Absolutely. That's what they need, momentum.
They've got a 4-man front, 3 in the backfield. The give goes to Lewis, and Lewis goes nowhere. Shut down on 3rd down, and Lake Central's defense responds with a quick 3 and out here to begin the second half. If you're head coach Rick Good, I don't think you could have asked for much more there from your defense.
No, and Chesterton, as they hurry to the huddle, punt team actually comes out. No pooch punt this time as they're a little more backed up. But no, a really nice job by Lake Central's defense, but it also seemed like, blocked.
And it is blocked. The punt blocked and goes out of bounds right around the 20-yard line. The blocked punt was by Jeff Lucas. Lucas with the blocked punt following the 3 and out. And that is a great start for this Lake Central team here to begin the second half.
Yeah, that is a momentum shifter, a huge play by Lucas. First time they actually do the conventional punt. They've been pooch punting all the times before. And there it is, a blocked punt. Special teams, a big factor here tonight with the blocked field goal for Chesterton, and now a block punt for the Indians. Let's see if they can turn it into 7 points.
And by far and away the best field position tonight for Lake Central, going to work from the Chesterton 17. First play, Xavier Williams off tackle. See some laundry on the field following the play. Let's see what this is. This might be against the Lake Central offense, and that is the last thing you want. It is against Lake Central. A penalty on your first offensive play for the second half after a great block punt. That is the last thing you wanted.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about balance as the keys of the game, but the penalties for Lake Central have been huge. And again, another holding penalty. They had a holding penalty on their first drive of the game that looked like they were going to punch it in for 7. Instead, it goes from 3rd and 3 to 3rd and 13 when they were in their red zone inside their own 10 at one point. They've had a couple other holding penalties that haven't helped them, this one being the most recent. Not good.
Kwiatkowski back to pass. Bubble screen to Graham, and Graham up forward close to the original line of scrimmage. And that's the first completed pass today, the second completed pass, and a good start here for Kwiatkowski, who really wasn't utilized that much in the passing game in the first half.
Yeah, they got to get him some rhythm because, like I said, if they can't find a little bit of run-pass balance here, Chesterton's just going to dial it up and stack the box, and that wasn't working for them in the first half. So they got to open it up a little bit. He has looked a little rattled when they asked him to drop back, but that was a nice, easy, quick passing game that can get him comfortable.
Option kept by Kwiatkowski, and Kwiatkowski still on his feet all the way close to the 10-yard line is going to bring up 3rd down and manageable. That was a good job of selling the option, the give to Brooks, and utilizing his legs himself.
Yeah, really nice job to keep that one as they crash in. Chesterton's defense crashes down. Quarterback takes it out, and now what was second and very long is now 3rd and manageable at 3rd and 4. So playbook opens up now if you're Lake Central's offensive coordinator.
2 in the backfield, Amarian Brooks and Williams. It goes to Williams, and Williams jumps right towards the 5-yard line. He should have the first down, and why not? He's been the go-to guy all season. You need a first down, you give him the ball.
Absolutely. It was tough running there, and now you go to your bread and butter. It's first down here. I would continue to feed Xavier Williams and see what you got. Now that you're inside the red zone, you're six yards away from a touchdown. You can talk about balance all you want, but when you get down here, you got to do what you do best.
Lake Central looking to get on the scoreboard. They're down 7-0. The defense gets a 3-and-out and a blocked punt on their first defensive series, and now the offense looking to cash in. Direct snap to Marion Brooks. Looks to turn the corner, and he goes nowhere. A loss on the play, and Chesterton sniffed that out perfectly. A good job on the outside by John Fleming and Owen Edlin, as here comes second down.
Yeah, they again showed that quarterback in motion. He goes to line up in the slot. It's an interesting play. It worked in the first half for them on their first drive. That time Chesterton was able to sniff it out. It takes away the guessing game, though, if you're Chesterton's defense, once the quarterback leaves the backfield. So an interesting play call there on first down.
Brooks up the middle, gets to about the 4. Tackle made by Connor Costafaros. And the question is this 4-down territory, down 7-0?
You got to think it is. It's a tough one because you want to, get on the board, too, at the same time. But when you consider field position, you could really back up Chesterton if you weren't able to get it. In my opinion, this is the best opportunity they've had pretty much all game. So, yeah, you want to punch this in.
7 in the box. Give back to Brooks. Devin Sane sifts it out, and Brooks gets nothing. 4th down, and the million-dollar question. Is Rick Good going for it? Is Rick going to settle for 3? Let's see here.
It's tough. Brooks, all due respect to Brooks, he's a good runner. He's had some nice runs tonight, really nice runs. But you get into the red zone, you get 1st and 6 from your goal line, and you start to take the ball out of the hands of Xavier Williams. I don't know, all due respect to the coaching staff, they know much more about what they're doing than I am, but I probably would give it to my horse.
Play clock down to 5. Costafaros to throw. Did he find him?
He did.
He did. The low throw hauled in by Amarian Brooks on 4th down. And Lake Central is within 1.
What a play by Kwiatkowski.
Take us through it on the replay there, Greg.
Yeah, he under duress as he gets it out while he's being hit. Low throw, yes, but like I said, hit as he's thrown and puts it on the numbers. Nice job by the wide receiver to adjust to it and come down with the catch. Beautiful play by Chase Kwiatkowski, the sophomore quarterback, showing some moxie there. He's been under, the few times they've asked him to drop back, he's looked uncomfortable.
The PAT is up and through, and we've got a tied game. Lake Central has all the momentum. They get a blocked punt. Go to work from the Chesterton 17. They score a touchdown on 4th down. Kwiatkowski to Amarian Brooks. We're tied 7-7. We'll take a timeout here on Region Sports. You're watching Game Night on Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Hi, I'm Crowell Company's Lantern Man. I'll cover your motorcycle. I'll be with you on the water. I'll be with you on the snow. I'll cover your insurance needs wherever you go. I'll be at Crowell Agency from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Companies, the insurance professionals in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City.
Lake Central responds. Amarian Brooks on the touchdown reception from the sophomore Chase Kwiatkowski, and we're tied 7-7 here on Region Sports Network. It's homecoming tonight here from St. John, Indiana, and you just saw it there. Lake Central down 7-0, able to tie it up. What a play in this game. Maybe the biggest play of the game so far.
Yeah. His special teams starting it out, though, with the block punt, as we just showed here on the replay. Special teams for Chesterton in the first half set the tone on the block field goal. Now Lake Central gets it with the block punt. and they take it and reward themselves with 7. Almost didn't get it, but you got to give a lot of credit to the sophomore Chase Kwiatkowski. Under duress, hit as he's thrown, touchdown. They haven't been getting a lot of success through the air, so to get a touchdown pass on 4th down right there on the goal line, what a huge momentum shifter. Chesterton's got to get back into their offense now because it's any man's game.
7:41 to play here in the third. Both teams have a touchdown. Both teams have had one possession offensively. Chesterton back to work from their own 20. 3 down linemen for Lake Central. Boswell, the throw, finds his man on the outside, Toma, and Toma gets to about the 24 on the screen. A good pickup on 1st down before being taken down on the outside by Jeff Cronin. We've seen a lot of this horizontal passing game early on. The question is, can one of these short passes turn into a big play?
Yeah.
Chesterton hoping so.
Yeah, Lake Central did a nice job of corralling that because he made the first defender miss. Could have potentially turned it into something, and Lake Central did a nice job of getting to the football. Now it's still second and long.
Both quarterbacks, Boswell, McCormick in the backfield. Play action. Boswell, clean pocket, steps up in the pocket, and he goes down. Sacked on hand by the Lake Central defensive lineman, Jeff Cronin and Tyrone Susner, and it's going to bring up 3rd down. But a flag on the play, let's see. Holding against Lake Central.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a huge momentum shifter there. Instead of 3rd and long, it's going to be a new set of downs for Chesterton. I didn't see it. Did you, Greg?
No, because I was watching in the backfield, watching the defensive line, watching Chesterton's quarterback climb the pocket there. And you know what? Because I didn't see where the defensive hold came from, I do have to give the quarterback for Chesterton a lot of credit there because, while nothing was downfield, he was allowing there to give it some time, and that turned into a defensive hold for Lake Central's secondary. He didn't panic and run out of the pocket or throw it away. He kept his eyes downfield, and that resulted in laundry on the field and a positive for Chesterton.
Boswell to pass on 1st down, has much more time, looks to go deep, pump fakes, now keeps with his legs and lunges forward maybe for a yard or so. Tackled from behind by Savion Edwards, and this defensive front is starting to get some pressure now on Boswell.
Yeah, they really are. Boswell, though, is showing patience in the pocket. They're getting to him, but not right away. He had plenty of time to throw there. Lake Central's secondary locked up Chesterton's receivers, so credit to them. But he's not panicking back there from what I'm seeing. So he even stepped up in the pocket a little bit again there and at least didn't take a sack, got a little bit of positive momentum.
Toma, the motion man. Boswell rolls left, steps up, and he somehow escapes, but not for long. The question is, did the ball come out? It didn't. Boswell sacked, and again, Edwards along with Cronin bring him down. They did it before, but the penalty negated it. They get to him again here.
Yeah, now you're seeing Lake Central impose their will. That was a dangerous play there while he was trying to stay patient in the pocket. Almost could have been a fumble strip sack there. So credit to Boswell for hanging on for dear life, but he's got to be careful. Chesterton's starting to get a little greedy, trying to get things through the air and not finding it, but they're trying to find their rhythm here in the second half.
More than halfway through the third, still tied 7-7. Boswell to pass, pump fakes, airs it out deep, and way out in front of his receiver. Toma had no chance there. Excellent coverage on hand by Lake Central's Nick Arcella, and Chesterton likely going to be forced to punt again. You're seeing Boswell and Chesterton look to be a little bit more aggressive through the air, but this Lake Central defensive front has done a good job standing tall.
Yeah, they really did a nice job here in both series here to stymie what Chesterton's trying to do offensively. It was all passing on this series, so kind of lost their balance there. Trying to do a little too much through the passing game, couldn't quite find it.
The punt is off this time and gets all the way to the Lake Central 36. And that is where they will go to work as the clock continues to run. 4 minutes and 50 seconds to go here in the third. Tied 7-7 in Chesterton with the ball twice. Hasn't been able to do a whole lot offensively. This has been a great Lake Central defense here to begin the second half.
It seems like they're recognizing that the clock.
And the clock has been reset to 5 minutes. And the question here now is, can Lake Central do something again offensively? They really struggled to move the ball with the short field the last time. They got in the end zone still. Can they do it again here?
A little longer field to work with. I mean, they had the luxury of a block punt to set them up in great position. This is going to take a little more patience and opportunity to get downfield. Got to start with your bread and butter, Xavier Williams, and they do.
They do. First down run to Williams. Doesn't have a whole lot there. Takes one with them and past the 40 to about the 43. Williams gets about 5. Danny Gavea finally able to bring him down, but you see how much effort it takes. It takes more than one man to tackle this man.
Yeah, beast mode. I mean, that was, guys, hanging on to his jersey as he's pulling away. You almost feel like at some point he's going to break one if you keep feeding him the rock. And I would if I was Lake Central's offensive coordinator.
Second down and 4. Waitkowski to Williams, and Williams gets close to the marker. Again, he's hit every time for the most part right around the line of scrimmage, but keeps falling forward. They give him 4 in the first down, and Devin Sane was the one that was able to keep that from being an even bigger run.
Yeah, now Xavier Williams comes off the field for a quick breather, so it'll be interesting to see what they do here on first down, because this is imperative that they continue to get this positive momentum. See if Brooks gets in on this or if they decide to throw.
Wentowski it is, Amarian Brooks, who caught the touchdown on the previous drive, and he gets maybe a yard or two on 1st and 10. Your keys to the start of the second half was a little bit more of a balance. We saw a lot of running in the first half from Lake Central. They've mixed in a couple of passes, and so far those couple of passes have been effective, including a touchdown. It's made a difference so far.
Yeah, absolutely. They had a couple passes on the first drive, but also an RPO where the quarterback kept it and got some crucial yards. That's the kind of things that I'm talking about that's going to open things up for Xavier Williams.
Witowski again gives to his running back in the backfield, and not a whole lot there on second down. It was Williams, and it's going to bring up 3rd and long. Both these teams are selling out for the run now.
Yeah, and we're seeing a little fighting on the outside with number 13, James Graham. And Ethan Chasko going at it on the outside. So, hey, they know it's money on the table time. We got 3 minutes left here in the third quarter. Game's moving by fast. So everyone's, trying to do everything they can to win this game. So I enjoy the competitiveness on the outside.
Game clock under 3 minutes. A couple in the backfield now with Kwitowski. It goes to Williams, and Williams past midfield gets to the Chesterton 46. And now facing 4th down, what will Lake Central do?
Man, this is a tough call because you're midfield. You got this game tied up. This is a momentum-shifting type of play. It looks like they're going to go for it. Could be a pooch punt scenario like Chesterton's ran a few times. It's dangerous because you could give all the momentum back to Chesterton here with the play call not being right. So
4th down and 3. They don't look like they have any intention of punting this ball. Witkowski gives to Williams, and a flag comes in. It looks like it's going to be a legal motion against Lake Central, and I thought there was a little hold there for a minute.
Yeah, false start. Penalties are absolutely killing Lake Central tonight. Killing them.
That was a big one on 4th down. They might have had it there, and now from 4th and 3 to 4th and 8, I think you have no choice but to punt this football.
Yeah, you're trying to – Xavier Williams is trying to put this team on his back, and the penalties continue to torment Lake Central. Their coaching staff's got to be pulling their hair out.
Owen Denning to punt. Garrett Lewis to return. He stands at his own 10. We've seen Denny have a couple of really nice punts so far tonight. A low snap between his legs. He picks it up and just gets rid of it. and it is picked up by Chesterton at the Lake Central 35. It was a low snap. He didn't have a whole lot to do with it, and he was just lucky to get it off.
Man, special teams are the highlight of this game. You know, you're seeing here on the replay, just a low snap. He tries to get it off. It goes off the side of his foot. Chesterton actually retrieves the punt and almost houses it. Luckily, Lake Central kept their wherewithal through the chaos and got him down, because that could have went for 6 really quick. So now Chesterton back with all the momentum swings have come from special teams. Talk all about offense and defense, but you know, special teams, it takes all 3 to tango.
First play of the drive, McCormick, the sophomore, keeps and rumbles forward close to the 30-yard line on first down. We saw Lake Central block the first punt of the second half. They got a touchdown. Now Lake Central with a muff punt. Can Chesterton take advantage? Let's see. 7-7, 1:30 to go here in quarter number 3, tied up at 3. And Chesterton with their best field position tonight at the Lake Central 32.
They passed it on every down in their second drive of this half, so Chesterton that being, and so they run it here on first down, run it on second down.
Garrett Lewis looks to turn the corner, jumps inside, and gets a couple of yards, maybe 2, on second down. Lake Central's run gaps have gotten a lot tighter. They are not as wide as they were in the first half.
Well, and you see Garrett Lewis a few times tonight have that, wanting to get to the outside, to the sidelines, but he was smart to cut it back upfield, get north and south, because it was only going to be a problem if he kept going that way. Able to get a few yards to make this third and manageable as the clock winds down here in the third quarter.
4 down linemen, 7 in the box. A flag comes in on 3rd and 5, and it looks like this might be on Chesterton. And it is a false start against Chesterton with 33 seconds to go, and you got to think that changes what you were going to run. Instead of 3rd and 5, now you got 3rd and 10.
Absolutely, and I think that might be the first penalty for Chesterton tonight. Couldn't have come at a worse time if you're the Chesterton head coaching staff. Now it's 3rd and 10, as you mentioned, 30 seconds on the clock as we head towards the fourth quarter.
The game clock is at 25 seconds. The play clock is at 14, so they have to get the snap off. Man in motion. McCormick to pass. Airs it out deep over the middle and just a little bit too far out of reach of his man, Tyler Peterson. That was a pretty good ball from McCormick, but Peterson just could not haul it in. Good job on the back end by Lake Central. And now let's see what Chesterton does here on 4th down.
It was an incredible pass. I mean, he almost came down with a touchdown there. I've been really impressed by Chesterton's passing game tonight. They got a couple quarterbacks that can put it right on the money.
And I think this is the right call to go for it. 13 seconds on your opponent, 35. I think you got to go for it. Let's see. Empty formation. 3 receivers at the bottom of your screen, 2 at the top. Sebastian Boswell drops back, has time, rolls left, across his body for the end zone.
Oh, my
He caught
goodness!
it! Tyler Peterson brought it in with one hand on 4th down, and Chesterton regains the lead. It's 13-7.
Oh, my God. What a play by Tyler Peterson. He mossed him. What a play by the quarterback as well to get out of the pocket. Man, throwing off his, as he's moving. Tyler Peterson, what a play. ESPN Sports Center countdown. You just got yourself one. That was a mossed him play. What an amazing catch and throw by the quarterback there.
On 4th down. Touchdown pass. Boswell to Ethan Troy from 35 yards out. And we are tied it is Chesterton now in front, 14-7 with 2 seconds to go. We'll take a timeout. When we return, we'll be ready for the start of the 4th. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com.
On fourth down, Sebastian Baswell from the Lake Central 35 hooks up with Ethan Troy to put Chesterton back in front 14-7. And so far, 2 muff punts on special teams have led to touchdowns. The difference? Chesterton has 2 of those. Lake Central only has 1, and it's 14-7 as we approach the start of the fourth quarter. What an unbelievable catch there by Ethan Troy.
Unbelievable catch. Tyler Peterson, play of the night. But, man, you got to give these quarterbacks for Chesterton a lot of credit because Tyler Peterson doesn't make that catch if he doesn't get a chance to make the play. And Sebastian Boswell put it right where he needed to give Tyler Peterson a chance at that. On fourth down, too, I have been thoroughly impressed by Chesterton's air game tonight. Just an incredible display there. Throwing on the move, rolling out of the pocket, throwing off his side foot. I mean, that was just unbelievable. That was big time.
It was big time, and we will be ready for the start of the fourth when we return. Can Lake Central respond on homecoming? We'll find out. 14-7, Lake Central down. As we start the fourth quarter, we'll be back shortly here on Region Sports Network. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Attention homeowners, ready to start your next project? Need to pay off your debt? Refinance your home? Unlock the value of your home with a Centier Bank no-fee home equity loan or home equity line of credit. Stop by a local Centier branch today or visit us on the web at centier.com/home equity. Terms and conditions subject to change without notice, subject to credit approval. Centier Bank, NMLS number 408076, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
We enter the fourth quarter, and we got a nail-biter on hand. Lake Central trailing 14-7. Can they respond and tie it up? Let's see. They tied it up following the blocked punt to begin the third quarter, but Chesterton responded right near the end of the third. 35-yard pass from Boswell to Ethan Troy on fourth down. Chesterton regains the lead.
Unbelievable turn of events here in the third quarter. A lot of action.
First play, Xavier Williams up the gut, and he gets popped right at the line of scrimmage by Danny Gavea. Not a whole lot there on first down. We haven't talked much today about our play of the game, but that might be it. The IKORCC Proud Union home play of the game. That is the Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio Regional at Carpenters Build Your Future. The game's not over, but that probably right now is at the top of the list.
Yeah, you thought for a minute maybe one of the special teams momentum changers could have been in it, but when you have a Mostem type of catch by Tyler Peterson, that's leading in the ranks here, but still time to go.
Screen pass goes to Amarian Brooks. Did he get his face mask? He might have. The late flag comes in. And if it stands, it'll be a 15-yard penalty and a new set of downs for the Lake Central Indians. They tried to get that screen, and Brooks at the end, I think one of the Chesterton Trojans got a piece of his face mask.
Yeah, just kind of happens when you're trying to corral your guy in. Receiver cuts inside. You're just trying to get him down, and your hand catches the face mask, so that's a tough one for Chesterton. But very a positive for Lake Central, and they need all the positives they can get. Penalty finally going the other way to help Lake Central's offense, so hopefully they can stay off of the penalty problems themselves that have deterred some of their runs.
Up the middle, Williams. Did that ball come out? It might have.
There's a helmet that came off.
And a helmet comes off as they were expecting that run up the middle.
Something came off.
And Fleming and Dane, Owen Edlin, able to get the stop and get the loss, which is going to bring up third down and 8 for the Lake Central offense that is going the wrong way.
Yeah, I saw something bouncing around there too, but I thought it was a helmet, but I guess it could have been the ball.
I thought the ball came out from Xavier Williams, and this might be a passing situation for Lake Central. Down 14-7, third down. A receiver at the bottom of your screen, 2 at the top. Kwiatkowski to the flat. Williams trying to get to the outside. Rumbles forward, really close to the marker. Is going to be short by about a yard or 2. And here comes the punt unit for the Lake Central Indians.
Got a feel for Xavier Williams. He's doing everything he can to put this team on his back. But, Chesterton has answered the call here time and again tonight. The play right before that on second down where they stuffed the run that kind of set the tone for third and long and leaves Lake Central's options limited to try to get that first down. And he did everything he could to try to get there, but Chesterton continues to get to the ball and run him down.
Garrett Lewis back to return, and this one is not going to be returnable. Takes a bounce at the 37, and that is where Chesterton will go to work offensively with 9:35 to go. This second half has been about one word: momentum.
Yep.
It was Lake Central's for the most part in the third, up until the end on the fourth down touchdown from Boswell to Troy, and it has been all Chesterton momentum. Let's see if they can put the nail in the heart, the nail in the coffin, if you will, right here, up one score.
Yeah, the first half was a lot of long drives by both teams. This half, it's been a lot of quick drives, whether they've been 3 and outs or touchdowns. Everything's kind of the action is picked up big time.
McCormick gives to Lewis, and Lewis goes nowhere on first down. Max Welty, the corner, coming in on the tackle there on first down. And you're seeing a lot of runs now here late in the game. Let's see maybe if Chesterton can throw him off with a play-action pass. That almost kind of what happened on fourth down earlier.
Yep. It'll be interesting to see what they call here. They've had such success through the air, but it's the fourth quarter. There's 9 minutes to go. You don't want to be the one to make that mistake that brings Lake Central back into this game. So they're sticking to the run.
McCormick on second down and 10 gets maybe a yard or 2. Savion Edwards on the tackle, and it's going to bring up third down. Is this Lake Central team doing a good job stopping the run early in this one so far?
Yeah, definitely. They've done a nice job for the most part, except for that Garrett Lewis drive where Lewis dominated on the run. Aside from that, Lake Central's been running the ball. I highlighted the linebacker, number 54, has done a really nice job getting to the ball carrier. But if you're Chesterton, the passing game has got you here. Run game's got to take you home, bleed that clock, and do what you can defensively to take this game and win it.
Third down is a draw, and it goes nowhere. It was Jeff Cronin and Ben Spang in the backfield, and a loss of at least 2 on third down. And Chesterton up 7. Didn't look like they wanted to do anything too risky and just want to do what they can to keep this lead.
Right, and I totally understand that. They have the 14-7 lead. Under 8 minutes to play, clock still running. Why make the mistake at this point? The pass game has done so much for you to just have this lead alone. It would be a shame if they had called something and a mistake happens, throw an interception. Now all of a sudden Lake Central's back in the game.
High punt, a little short, is going to go out of bounds, close to midfield. Let's see where they rule this. It's not where it lands. It's where it went out of bounds. And it is right around midfield. The Lake Central 47, and that is excellent starting field position for Lake Central, down 7 with 7:26. And you think with the way this game has gone, you got to get at least a field goal on this drive.
Yeah, at least. And I don't know if they're going to be settling for too many field goals with the clock being what it is. It was interesting watching the sideline ref there, determine, where the out of bounds was. He went to where the ball landed and then kind of used that as his, trajectory of finding where it went out of bounds. Because at first it looked like he was going to be way off of where it would be, where the ball should be spotted. But I think he got the correct down and distance here.
First down and 10. Williams tries to work the outside, and it is just not there. Chesterton refuses to let him be the one to beat him. Devin Sane along with Keegan Wrigley on the stop. And quickly, 1st and 10 becomes 2nd and 10. Let's see if we see Lake Central throw the ball. Kwiatkowski does have that pass on 4th down that went to Amarian Brooks, but outside of that, not a whole lot to show for it via the passing attack. 2nd down, Williams the motion man. Instead, over the middle of the field, it's caught for a 1st down, and on his feet to the Chesterton 40, Lamar Richardson. Haven't seen him get a whole lot going for himself today, but make something happen there.
Yeah, I mean, you got to open it up. You got to trust your quarterback. I understand he's a sophomore. He's had some moments where he's looked rattled, but he had the touchdown on 4th down. How many chunk plays have you had since that first drive if you're Lake Central? You're not getting it through the ground. Get some through the air.
To the outside, Xavier Williams lowers his shoulder past the Chesterton 35 inside it for a good pickup on 1st down. And now we've seen back-to-back passes for the first time tonight from LC.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of fans are asking, hey, come on, where has this been? Trust your quarterback as he's coming onto the sideline to get the play in, running back to the huddle here with 20 seconds on the play clock. But, yeah, hey, why not? You got 6 minutes left in this game. You better open it up now or never. It's money on the table time.
We are halfway through the 4th. Chesterton 14, Lake Central 7, but Lake Central is threatening. 5-man rush, outside rush to Williams, and Williams spins forward for a couple of yards. It was Costafaros again there, but you can tell they are expecting Williams to get the ball every time.
Yeah, I mean, I got a lot of respect for how Xavier Williams runs the football right there. He could have easily tried to bounce that to the outside. Instead, he cuts it back in. He doesn't avoid contact. He engages in it, and he just takes defenders with him. That was another impressive run by Xavier Williams, doing everything he can to get Lake Central back into this game.
Pickup of about 2 on 1st down. Williams again on the give to the 25. And Xavier Williams continues to get the ball here as the clock rolls under 5 minutes.
Yep. This is, you got to think this is the game, really. I mean, they need 7. They need 7 here. So it'll be interesting to see how they play it. It's 2nd and long. Do they run it, to try to make it 3rd and manageable? Or do they go back into the air where they've had some success on this drive?
2nd down and 7 at the Chesterton 24. Williams again pushes forward close to the 22-yard line. Not enough for a 1st down, but it's going to bring up about 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5. And the question is, do you try and go back to the pass where you saw a little bit of momentum via the air earlier in this series?
Well, you got to think this is 4-down territory, right? So
absolutely.
I think there's a very good chance they hand that ball off to Xavier Williams again. Chase, Kwiatkowski's had some nice plays here, but it's 3rd and 4. You got to think Xavier Williams is going to be able to at least get a few yards, if not the 1st down.
2 in the backfield along with Kwiatkowski. It goes up the middle, and Williams has the 1st down and then some. They sell the outside run, give it up the middle, and Williams makes it happen as the game clock gets to the 4-minute mark.
Yeah, Williams, he got up. He definitely looks like he's feeling the fatigue from carrying this team on his back for most of the night. But I have a feeling he's tasting that end zone a little bit and wants a little more. And it'll be interesting to see if they hand it to him again. Yep.
Williams again. Forward to about the 10 for a pickup of 5. And it might not be pretty, but they're getting small chunks after small chunks, and it's taking an effect, wearing down this defense a little bit.
Well, and also, we got a timeout from Chesterton because I was just about to bring this up. It's getting to a point now where, Lake Central is running the clock out to where they tie the game and take this to overtime. Now Chesterton, who maybe is a little gassed from, a long drive now. That was the eighth play of that drive. 2 passes and 6 runs. So, Chesterton is hanging on for dear life, maybe giving your defense a breather, but also it stops the clock because maybe Chesterton can get the ball back if Lake Central were to tie this game, and you give your team an opportunity to win it in regulation.
That's a great point, and that brings me to my next question. If you're Lake Central, you're having success running the ball. You want to make sure if you score, you don't give too much time to the Chesterton offense. Do you continue to keep this thing on the ground?
Yeah, why not? Until you stop getting positive momentum from the run, you don't deter from it. So it's 2nd and manageable, 2nd and 5. It's 3 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock. Yeah, I continue to hand that ball to Xavier Williams. Honestly, while Chesterton called that timeout, maybe to stop the clock to give themselves an opportunity to score if and when Lake Central were to tie it, you also give Xavier Williams a breather, and he probably needed it. Well, because he's doing all the heavy lifting on this drive.
He has touched the ball 5 times so far on this drive, and don't forget he's made a couple of catches out of the backfield too. Right now, Williams at the bottom of your screen is on the left hip of his sophomore quarterback, Chase Kwiatkowski. Amarian Brooks on the other side. Run to the left. Kwiatkowski lowers his shoulder and gets to about the 7-yard line. And this is going to bring up 4th down and short. Going to bring up 3rd down and 2. And this clock is continuing to run. You have to think that's advantage for the Lake Central offense. If they score here, Chesterton might not have time to counter.
Yep, and that's exactly what Lake Central wants. So they're going to take their time here without question.
And you have to consider, I think, if you're head coach Rick Good, going for 2 if you score. Do you go for the win?
Why not, right?
3rd and 2. The quarterback, Kwiatkowski, keeps.
Another flag.
And a late flag comes in. A late one, too.
False
start against Lake Central. So instead of 3rd and 2, it's 3rd and 7. That changes a lot here for a team that has predicated itself on picking up small chunks.
And you can almost already hear Coach Good. If they are to not win this game, you can point to the special teams miscues all you want. It's the penalties that are in the fine print of this game. And Lake Central has done themselves no favors several times. This being the most recent one, a backbreaker. 3rd and 7 now instead of 3rd and short.
They need to get to the Chesterton 4 to move the sticks. Kwiatkowski to pass, slant, tipped in the air, but a flag comes in. Is this pass interference? Let's see. If it is, it's going to go against Ethan Chasko. Pass interference with 2:21 to go is going to bring up 1st and goal for the Lake Central offense.
Man, I don't know. Yeah, that's a tough call there. From my vantage point, maybe he pushed him from behind because where we are sitting, you can't see behind them. But that ball was over the receiver's head. It did not look like pass interference to me, but we are, a bit of a distance away. So I'll be fair to the refs here. They know what they're doing, and they had the closest vantage point. But that's a tough call. Tough call.
Oh, they didn't give him the 1st down. It's 3rd down.
I'm a little confused what happened there.
And it's going to bring up 3rd and 1. This is probably an even bigger advantage. Williams, off tackle. Did he get in? He did. Xavier Williams from the 6-yard line has put Lake Central within 1. Now do you go for 2 or do you go for 1? Let's see. Rick Good has a tough decision to make here.
What a play by Xavier Williams. They are taking the field goal here. So, hey, special teams has been the story of this night. You don't want to be on the wrong end of this story.
Point after. Blocked. Throws it up. Incomplete. A bad snap goes wrong for Lake Central. And now they are down 1. That may be the play of the game. Botch snapped. Lake Central unable to find the end zone on the 2-point conversion attempt.
Yeah, we were just saying, special teams has played such a big factor in this game. A botch snap on the extra point. Lake Central has just got to be kicking themselves. All the miscues tonight have led to their demise. Still 2 minutes and 17 seconds on the clock. the Lake Central Indians have 3 timeouts, so they'll be able to stop it with each run that Chesterton has. So they need to, get a 3 and out here. But man, with Xavier Williams, I feel for him because he's done everything he can in this game to carry Lake Central, bring them back into this. He gets the touchdown run on a 10-play or 10 unofficial 10-play drive there. Xavier Williams does everything he can, and then the botched extra point. Special teams always key, and tonight that has highlighted that.
Well, you have to think an onside kick is coming. And Owen Denny has a really good leg. Now he's got to be able to show how precise he can be and get the right hop here on an onside kick. This is far from easy. You have to have it travel 10 yards, so it needs to get to midfield, or it needs to be touched by a Lake Central player, or a Chesterton player. Denny to kick. And did we get a false start? Some early movement from Lake Central. Let's see. Maybe a timeout from Chesterton. Nope, a flag. Who's it on? Looks like it might be on Chesterton.
Nope. It's on Lake Central, so they're backing them up.
Lake Central to the 35.
Little early movement.
And now it's got to get to the 45.
And honestly, I don't think Lake Central minds that they have a second chance at this because Chesterton would have came down with that onside kick. So get a second crack at it now.
Remember, after the game, we'll have the Proud Companies, or the Proud Union home play of the game is the onside kick goes out of bounds, and that will result in Chesterton football, plus our Proud Companies Lantern Man superhero of the game, and our Boilermakers Local 374 blue collar of the game. But this ball is going back to the Chesterton offense with 2:17 remaining, and they have a 14-13 lead. A first down will seal it for Chesterton. What are you emphasizing here if you're head coach Mark Peterson with the ball 2:17 and Lake Central having all 3 of their timeouts?
Don't fumble it.
Ball control.
I mean, you want to get the first down, obviously. So, they're going to keep it to the ground here. Lake Central has all 3 of their timeouts, so they'll be quickly calling timeouts. But the number one thing, even over the first down, is do not fumble this football.
McCormick to Ethan Troy, who has the first down, and that might seal it with 2 minutes and 11 seconds to go.
Doesn't completely seal it because almost fortunately for Lake Central, he gets the first down. Like, let's say it was 2nd and 1 instead. That almost hurts them more. Now you use one of your timeouts here. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Chesterton's asking the ref what's going on. I'm assuming a timeout was used. If not, I can understand not using it and then using it once this first down starts up. You run it all the way down to the play clock. They don't run it all the way down.
Troy on first down gets to about the 26, and a timeout comes with 1:41.
See, and that was smart. That was smart by Coach Good. Don't take the timeout after the first down, the big first down run. Now you use your timeouts in succession. You hope you can get off the field here. I don't know if Chesterton would attempt a field goal from that distance. Potentially, they would not. So, that was a good call by Coach Good to wait to use his timeout. Now you still have 2 more left. It's 2nd down. Give your team an opportunity to potentially have to go the length of the field with no timeouts, but with some clock to work with.
What are you drawing up here if you're the defense? Rick Good, Lake Central, they've done a good job for the most part stopping the run. Do you sell out here? Do you have to sell out?
Yeah, you stack the box with everybody you got. The question is for Chesterton, is there any kind of misdirection? You try to use that anticipation by Lake Central, use that against them, and try to find something to get yourself the first down, because at this point, another first down seals the game.
Chesterton on offense needs 7 yards to seal the win. The give to Lewis, and Lewis does not get a whole lot on second down. Another timeout taken by Lake Central with 1:36. And don't forget, you were right here. That not using that first timeout might be the best decision Rick Goods made all night.
Well, it's 6 and 1, half a dozen the other. If he had used it on the first, then they just run the clock out on third down. So it's one or the other. But at the end of the day, I like the idea, because Chesterton, after they got that first down, they ran the play clock only down to 5 seconds. To me, I was picking nits, but you run it all the way down to 1 second. Time is of the essence. Lake Central needs every bit of that clock. You gave them an extra 4 seconds there by snapping the ball on first down with the play clock at 5. So, it was a good call by Coach Good. Now you have one more timeout in your pocket.
3rd down and 4. Chesterton up 14-13. Any chance of the pass here?
No. Unequivocally, no. Do not fumble it if you're Chesterton.
McCormick with Levi Wheeling and Ethan Troy. Motion man. It goes to Troy. Troy stuffed. Keeps the legs churning and does not get the first down. And Lake Central will use its final timeout. Do you consider going for it here?
Yeah, why not, right? Maybe you do the pooch punt again. Wasn't it Chesterton that had the blocked punt here in this half? I'm losing track of who.
It was the bad pooch punt early in the game by Chesterton. That one was blocked to begin the third quarter. Yep.
Yeah,
right.
So, you've had some, crazy things have been happening on special teams. So maybe you just run it one more time and see if you can get that first down and end this game once and for all if you're Chesterton. It's not a bad thought.
90 ticks remaining. A first down seals the win for Chesterton. Do you consider passing the ball here?
Whew, boy. They've had such success through the air, but it's too risky. I don't know. But at Chesterton, 2-4, this is such a huge game for them. It'd be such a huge win. Looks like they're going to run it just by the formation we're looking at, but
Brady McCormick along with Ethan Troy. Motion man gets the jet sweep.
now they have to drive almost the length of the field, but, an opportunity nonetheless.
And this Lake Central crowd has come to life tonight here on homecoming. Kwiatkowski, the sophomore, rolls right, throws on the move, finds his running back Williams in the flat, and he gets out of bounds around the 28 for a pickup of 2, but it will stop the clock.
Right. A nice job by Xavier Williams to get out of bounds and stop the clock. Really nice job. He's a smart football player.
The clock will stop following a first down, even if they're tackled inbounds with less than 2 minutes to go. But if you're tackled inbounds and you're short of the sticks, the clock will run, and Lake Central has no more timeouts. 2 receivers at the bottom of your screen, 1 at the top. Kwiatkowski, the quarterback, drops back, bubble scream. Lamar Richardson is tackled, and the clock is going to continue to roll.
Ooh, and that was a big hit.
It sure was. They have got to get on the ball, and they got to get on the ball fast.
Yes.
Game clock under 60 seconds. 3rd down. Throw to the outside. Is it picked off? No, incomplete.
Wow.
And Lake Central is going to have one last chance here on 4th and 8.
Yeah, long pass to the opposite sideline of the hash marks. Took a long time to get there. Chesterton's DB almost chased that down for an interception to seal it.
52 seconds. The last time we were here for Lake Central, they scored the touchdown, but then missed the extra point, and that is why they've got to go for it at 14-13. Kwiatkowski, he runs the ball on 4th down, and LC does not get it, and that is going to end the game. Chesterton on the road pulls off the upset, 14-13. Connor Costafaros with the tackle to seal the win.
Yeah, you see Chesterton so fired up, hugs, everybody jumping into each other's arms. They came out with a purpose today. Kind of sent a message, as we mentioned, making their little ritual on the logo right before the game started. And ever since then, they set the tone there. They set the tone with their talk on the field, with their play on the field, more importantly. What a game from the Chesterton Trojans. They got a lot to be proud of.
And we've got a lot to go over, too. We'll recap. But Lake Central at home is going to fall on homecoming to 4-3 as Chesterton pulls out the road win. You talk about a gritty win. It wasn't pretty, but a win's a win.
Was not pretty by any means, but, there was a lot of miscues and special teams. Lake Central had more penalties. I didn't get to tally them all up, but Lake Central had way more penalties than Chesterton did. That's a big difference in this game. Lake Central with some back-breaking penalties. The turnovers on special teams obviously were momentum shifters, but, man, what a play, by the Chesterton Air game. These guys, Tyler Peterson, Sebastian Boswell throwing on the move, and then the Most catch. But obviously that extra point muffed snap looms large for Lake Central.
Knee taken by McCormick, and they'll have to do it one more time as there's a 3-second differential between game clock and play clock. But barring a miracle, Chesterton is going to win on the road and improve to 3-4 with tonight's 14-13 win over Lake Central. What a game. How about it?
What a game by Chesterton. Both teams played very hard, but Chesterton really came out with a purpose as the game concludes here. It's just amazing. The underdog came in here and took them down on homecoming night. Lake Central's got to get back to the drawing board. But as we mentioned in pregame, just because Chesterton was 2-4 didn't mean that they were any slouch, and they showed that.
Yeah, what a really hard-fought effort between these two teams as Chesterton on the road beats Lake Central 14-13. We'll take a timeout. When we return, we will recap, and then we'll get into our awards. We got a lot of awards and a lot to break down next as Chesterton on the road comes out victorious over Lake Central 14-13. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Thank you for taking me home. It's so far.
Don't worry about it, Grandma. This will be fun. 2 chocolate milkshakes, please.
Make it 3.
3?
Did you get his number?
No, Grandma. Grandma!
Excuse me?
Some relationships get better with time. That's why I got a cross-check.
97% of Subaru vehicles sold in the last 10 years are still on the road.
I'm so glad you got a Subaru.
I wonder who gave me the idea.
Oh.
Love. It's what makes Subaru, Subaru.
Check out the new Subarus at Castle Subaru in Portage. Ethos Dental Group in Munster, Crown Point, and Cedar Lake offers a full scope of general and cosmetic dentistry with expertise ranging from porcelain veneers to dental implants, crowns, and bridges. At Ethos Dental Group, you're assured that Dr. Mark Stojkovic and his associates, Dr. Emily Hansen and Dr. Brian Douts, utilize the latest in technology. Check out ethosdentalgroup.com or call 219-595-3432 to schedule an appointment. Ethos Dental Group, Munster, Crown Point, and Cedar Lake.
Hi, I'm Crowell Company's Lantern Man. I'll cover your motorcycle. I'll be with you on the water. I'll be with you on the snow. I'll cover your insurance needs wherever you go. I'll be at Crowell Agency from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Companies, the insurance professionals in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Back at Lake Central High School, home of the Indians, they fall just short on homecoming tonight with a final 14-13. Chesterton on the road pulls out the win, and they improve to 3-4, the second consecutive year Chesterton has beat Lake Central. Lake Central falls to 4-3 and now 3-2 in conference play. Jared Slinsky alongside Greg Braggs. Chesterton up 14-7 going into the half, up 7-0 going into the half. Well, it looked like Lake Central was going to take over for good. They get a 3-and-out on defense, get a blocked punt and a touchdown to quickly tie it up. But Chesterton, they responded. 4th down and 10. Sebastian Boswell rolls out on 4th down and finds Ethan Troy for a one-handed touchdown. Ultimately, Lake Central able to come back and score, but they unable to execute the point after attempt. And, well, that special teams blunder, we saw a couple of them tonight, the difference between a win and a loss. And Chesterton, they come out with a win tonight.
Yeah, I mean, all the talk's going to be about Sebastian Boswell to Tyler Peterson, and rightfully so. But the devil is in the details, and the special teams for Lake Central, first half, a blocked field goal to start the game, and then before the Tyler Peterson touchdown, what set that up was a muffed punt for Lake Central. That set them up in good field position. And then to end the game, a botched snap on the extra point. So 3 huge special teams blunders and then penalties. I mean, right now Coach Good is talking to Lake Central as they're on their field. He's got to be harping on the penalties, false starts, and holdings. Totally messed up any kind of momentum they had. So the devil is in the details. Honestly, Lake Central has no one really to blame but themselves. I mean, the balance in the second half, as I mentioned, balance was everything. Lake Central finally started to find a little balance. They had 22 runs and 10 passing plays in the second half, unofficially, of course, as I'm doing my notes here. But overall for the game, 45 runs to 14 passes. A lot of plays, but a lot of run plays, which led Chesterton to kind of sniff out what they were trying to do. Conversely, for Chesterton, they finished the game with 25 runs and 15 passes. Not as many plays as Lake Central, but a healthier dose of balance, and that kept Lake Central on their heels, guessing what Chesterton was trying to do. And ultimately, you got to give a lot of credit to Sebastian Boswell and the quarterbacks for Chesterton. They were putting it on the money. When they passed, the 15 times they did pass, they were putting the ball where the receiver could make a play. And obviously, the biggest example of that being to Tyler Peterson for a 35-yard touchdown. And he completely mossed his defender. It was honestly one of the best plays you'll see all year in the region. A hell of an effort by Chesterton tonight.
Well, I think you summed it up right there. Great execution on special teams down the stretch by Chesterton, and ultimately a fantastic catch by Ethan Troy on 4th down to put Chesterton up for good. It's now time to take a look at some awards, and we begin with the Crowell Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the Game. Crowell Companies have offices open from 9 to 7 Monday through Friday and Saturdays till 2 in Highland, Maryville, in Michigan City. They are the insurance superheroes, and they are proud to recognize the superheroes on the football field. The Crowell Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the Game is going to be the the losing running back today of the Lake Central Indians and Xavier Williams. What a game for Williams in an effort that the Indians come up short, but it had nothing to do with him. 30 carries, 130 yards, had a touchdown, broke multiple tackles in the backfield. This guy was a workhorse, and I think this is an easy choice. He is definitely our blue-collar player of the game in Xavier Williams. Our Crowell Company's player of the game is Xavier Williams in a losing effort tonight.
Yeah, and, deservedly so. He put the team on his back. No, they didn't come out with the win, but he did absolutely everything he could tonight. Potentially could have had the game-tying touchdown in the fourth quarter if not for the botch snap on the extra point, which he had nothing to do with. So you got to give credit where credit is due. And Xavier Williams got a lot of respect for how this guy runs the football. Tough runner, doesn't avoid contact, doesn't try to bounce it to the outside, who has no problem cutting it back to the inside and letting you have it with his pads. So shout out to Xavier Williams, even in a losing effort.
And now let's take a look at our Proud Union home play of the game. Proud Union play of the game brought to you by IKORCC, the Indiana-Kentucky Ohio Regional Council of Carpenters. Build your future. Learn more at IKORCC.com. Training, professionalism, and partnerships for economic development. This is a tough one. There's a lot of different plays, but I think the last play on fourth down that sealed the win for Chesterton, it was 4th and 8. Lake Central elects to run the ball, and, the Chesterton defense sniffs it out and preserves the win with that fourth down stop.
Yeah, it was a big play. I mean, to end the game, you win the game, you got to win it. You get the stuff. It was a tough play call. I understand you want to put the ball in Xavier Williams' hands. He got you that far with 130 yards, as you mentioned. But man, Tyler Peterson, he's going to be calling you tomorrow. I'll tell you that.
Let's take a look now at our blue-collar player of the game. It's time to name the blue-collar player of the game, brought to you by Boilermakers Local 374. Earn while you learn with Boilermakers Local 374. Learn about apprenticeship programs in local374.org. Xavier Williams in a losing effort. 30 carries, 130 yards, 1 touchdown. He was a workhorse tonight. I don't know what more you can say. He did everything he could to keep Lake Central in this game.
Yeah, if anybody is exemplary of being a blue-collar player, it's Xavier Williams. Tough runner, did everything he could tonight, so you got to give him a lot of credit. But, he's going to have a nice season here going forward. Tonight's tough. Homecoming night, obviously wanted to give his friends and the fans in the stands something to cheer for. But you live to play another day, and next week they can have an opportunity to bounce back.
So again, one more time, Xavier Williams, our blue-collar player of the game. Our play of the game, the fourth down stop by Chesterton defensively with less than a minute to seal the win. And the Crowell Company's Lantern Man superhero of the game, it's got to be that go-ahead catch on fourth down by Ethan Troy with one hand in the end zone. What a performance from all three, and congratulations to those respective players and the Chesterton defense for getting that fourth down stop, as this one is officially over. Special thanks tonight to the man all the way to the right here. That is our producer, Zach Miller. On the video upstairs, Scott Stessel, our executive producer, Chris Ramirez, and our coordinating producer, Nathan Laird. A special thanks to Lake Central Athletic Director Chris Einjart, head coaches for both teams, Lake Central's Rick Good and Chesterton's Mark Peterson, and our viewers online at facebook.com/regionsports and regionsports.com. Special thanks again to you for tuning in. I'm Jared Schlensky, fortunate enough to be on the call with Greg Braggs. We're saying so long and see you next time as we bring you more Region High School football here on Region Sports Network, the only game in town.